dark mode? How do I turn on dark mode, Kobe?
Well, we're
Really
streaming, so watch your comments on
I
whatever
will.
they're.
I will
Dark mode's the
save my.
best.
I will save my jokes.
I just heard. Heard Bridge Troll, and I started the stream. So, but I think, oh yes, I had to start off every episode this way now. So, for some reason, where are you? Here. Welcome to Story Mode, episode 36, The Tower of Pestilence, part 5. Part 5. 5 parts to the Tower of Pestilence. It's not even including the road up to it. But we are here. We have gone to the top and the bottom. And I think the bottom is where our questions for your characters are going to lead today. And your question for today is, what is the most atrocious or proud thing that has ever exited your character's bottoms?
Mm-hmm.
Is there
Only
like
bottoms?
Is there like a one defecation that just stands out to you in your memory that, I don't know, was a landmark sort of experience for your character? Maybe it wasn't even your character, maybe you were just in the presence of someone who had this epiphany of a poop, but yeah, tell us all about it. Was it squirty dumplings? Was it a Reesty one? Like, who knows? But want the nitty gritty, and I feel like there's no better person to start with than Detective Easter. Kobe, can you tell us?
Yeah. So, working a beat in the city, you're going to see a lot of crazy homeless people just shitting all over the city all the time. But, the worst, personally for me, and I had to play it off cool, is, we were chasing after somebody, and he darted across the bridge, and it was coming out. There's no stopping it. So I decided I'm going to shortcut through the water. And I just unloaded into the, nice city canal. So, it's not like I'm the first person to do that, but it was definitely pretty bad.
Dang. So this was viewed by many people then.
Well, I mean, it's pretty murky water, so who knows if they saw something float up or not.
Did something float up?
I was on hot pursuit, of the suspect, so I didn't have time. It was quick, get in the water and just kind of unload. It was a quick little soft swim, and then I had to hard swim the rest of the way to get away from my mess and after the perp.
Dang. Did it like attract anything? Like, there's like such a thing as like shark sugar, right? Like you defecate in the water and it attracts like. Yeah, you were swimming away from it, so obviously you distanced yourself. But is there like stories of things in the canals or something that?
I mean, people have gone missing down there. It wouldn't surprise me if there's, some sort of swamp monster or gator that lives down in there that gets after people. I mean, you get right outside the city, we have all of a sudden now reports of were sharks are out here. So, and the Kuatoa have now arrived, so no telling how many of them are down there pooping away in the canal. But
lots of aquatic creatures, and some sort of development of lycanthropy, a curse. So interesting. How about Soul, Sailor Sun, Ian? Does Sailor Sun or Soul, do they even poop? Is that a myth?
Oh, they do. It's honest. It's quite the funny story. So, my queen, she's powered by moon crystals, and we're charged with having to protect them. And we're in a battle because some of the moon. Oh, I like the image.
Great
of the moon
job.
monsters. We're gonna call them Galorgs. That's what we call them there. They're kind of huge, ugly, and they really blend in with moon rocks, so they're hard to see. Well, some Gallagers were trying to capture a moon crystal, and I was fighting it, and I was doing my yell. Ah! This Gallagher kicked the crystal. I accidentally swallowed it. Kicked it right into my mouth. So I had to go to the Queen, and she, thankfully, was by my side 24 hours for me to get rid of the moon crystal so she could have it back and safe.
Wow. Was that difficult to pass?
It was painful, but it was for my Queen, so it was worth it.
Oh, so the crystal was something that your people desired. So this
It
crystal...
gives my Queen more power.
So after you defecated the crystal, the Queen took this crystal. That's why she waited with you.
That's right, but I also think it was also because she was worried about me.
Did you at least, like, sanitize this crystal, or did she just, like, straight up, like, put her hand down there and scooped it right up?
Oh, the crystal is so powerful that no substance of any kind can stay on it. It
Wow.
just cleans itself.
That's pretty cool. I feel like that would be someone's kink.
Right?
Eating and swallowing and digesting crystals that can't actually obtain any, outside, like, interesting.
I'll know never to keep my mouth open during battle again.
But then you got to spend time with your Queen.
That's true. But I'm here on Earth, so until then, I'll keep my mouth closed.
Interesting. But maybe if you want to ever see your Queen again, consider ingesting moon crystals.
Fair point.
Cameron, how about
Give me a lot
Stony?
to think about.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever seen fish poop before. You know, the water.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to make an elongated snake shape. Well, I mean, I grew up in the Anasti Sea, but I grew up pretty privileged, so we actually had elemental magic in each of our toilets that was kind of like a small whirlpool that would, suck them out of the palace into a specific place outside of the palace. But, through my connections and friends making and stuff like that, I knew people who didn't live in the palace. They kind of lived in the community outside the palace.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of just had areas where they would defecate and actually had specific pets that would consume said defecation. So I don't really have like a really funny story, but the first time I saw it, I was completely horrified and amazed that people did that and that they had specific pets that would clean up after them. And, they were like household pets, as if you would see, chained outside of a house, topside. They had pets outside the palace that they were family pets that they loved dearly, and they also cleaned up their defecations.
Interesting. What can you describe these pets? Like, what were they?
Yeah. So I mean, they're mostly fish-like. They're kind of like bottom feeders, I guess you could say. So they have big suctions, a big suction mouth, like on the bottom. They kind of patrol the ground and surfaces, sides of buildings, things like that, and just clean up.
How clean do you really think they got? Like, there's, microscopic, like, levels of this. Do you think that these things really got all that out there, or do you think maybe you're breathing a little bit of poop water?
Well, I mean, I think in general, if you really think about it, all the animals in the water are pooping, so I think
When
kind of just get over that fact.
When the pets pooped, who ate their poop?
I mean, so the way they digest their poop, it solidifies it in a way that it kind of just sinks to the bottom of the ocean, I guess. It
Interesting.
was never really much of a problem, as much as I saw.
So, in summary,
Swept away in the ocean.
The rich people just fling their poop far away from them and the lesser people actually have a pretty good system for it.
Right. So ours gets taken out of the palace, and that I didn't really know that growing up. I didn't know where it went. It was just kind of a spectacle, and so it went to basically like a not a culvert, I guess you could probably call it, but like a underground canyon cavern that was kind of quite far from the palace. So I assume at that point it is picked up and patrolled by wildlife.
Or there's a giant poop monster accumulating.
That could be very true. I never went to inspect it, I guess.
Side quest. Jared.
What's our main quest if we have side quests?
I don't know anymore. I just give you guys quests. Your side quests are the times you decide to. There's too many. This is all just one big side quest. There has yet to be. No one has followed a main quest.
Compilation of side quests.
Yes, that has very somehow been maybe patched together and glued to create some semblance of a main story. But
I mean, it sounds like there was a book that had our main quest in it, but who knows?
maybe. But those were more like guidelines. You still have gone on the path for the most part. But Jared, how about Tyrell? Does Tyrell have any defecation stories?
I mean, poop has saved me a number of occasions.
Really?
There was one time I was actually kidnapped by some ruffians, some gangsters, whatever you want to call them. They had actually handcuffed me and blindfolded me by throwing a bag over my head. I had no idea where I was. They drugged me through areas completely unknown to me, all while I had an awful stomach ache from some really bad just Keebler kimchi the day before. Just really messed me up. And well, anyways, they held me prisoner at their base at the end of the night. I just waited there until the guard fell asleep, and I was able to pick the lock and make my escape. And of course, not knowing where I was, luckily I was able to sniff out all my trail of, watery diarrhea.
Dang.
on the ground, to get myself back home.
Did these kidnappers not have noses? They did not, or they were just like, oh, gross. This drow is just.
They were definitely on something the whole time. I don't think they were too preoccupied with any smells. And I was at the back of the pack, essentially. So.
Why did they? Do you know why they kidnapped you? Did you ever? I mean, that was very clever thinking, but you.
Oh yeah, I definitely forethought that would be a good way to find a way.
Oh, so you had just been looking for the opportunity, and you're like, man, I hope I get kidnapped so I can poop my pants and leave a trail.
No, it was sarcasm. Why did they kidnap me? I was rumbling around in their stuff.
Oh,
looking
okay.
for, artifacts.
Gotcha. So you were in the wrong, essentially.
Yeah, but they were ruffians.
What? Sorry, if I ask what a ruffian is, that will get too far away from the original point of the question.
Lack of a word for what's a video game? Borderlands. What are they called?
Psychos?
Well, sure. Maybe that's not the game I'm thinking of. Bad guys.
I don't want to
what
answer.
game am I
I don't want to
game am I
answer. I
thinking
don't
of?
want to answer for you because are you
Ruined it.
I mean this
I knew you were gonna ask.
So are they like Khajiit? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No.
Oh.
No.
Because they collect things.
That would be cool. Maybe we'll just do that.
And to end cap this wonderful conversation, probably somebody who doesn't have any experience in any of this, Josh, how about Blib or Tug?
Oh, man. My favorite poop experience.
I just said a memorable one, but you said favorite. That implies that you have many.
Well, I mean, you get to a point where you can't trust a fart, and that puts you in bed. It's a good way of making memories.
Is that in the 14 commandments of Blib Doopulip? Never trust a fart?
No, that doesn't need to be a commandment. Any life experience teaches you that one.
But think of all the innocents you could save.
Some things just need to be there's just some things that are part of life, and and getting to where you can't trust a fart is one of them. No one can prepare you for that. You have to live it.
The sheer terror. So is that your story? Is a time that you didn't trust a fart, or you did trust a fart?
I still never trust a fart. So, I mean, I don't know. My stories aren't all that great. I mean,
What's
you
the
just
one
never-
right off the top? Like, what was your first initial like? Oh yeah, I have one.
well, I mean, I took a shit so big once that it like made my butt hole bleed, and it was just like one massive curled long snake, no broke pieces. Like to the point the bathroom got stinky because it was, like coming out of the water. It was impressive.
Dang, are you sure you didn't have some sort of like intestinal like snake inside of you, like an actual like parasitic thing?
No,
Like it didn't try and escape once it had left you, did it? Or did it,
no, not that I know of.
And just for clarification, this is just your character, right? Like there's no personal experience being spoken here. Like this is just
Absolutely.
I do recall one of the first times I met Blib and her followers. I didn't want to say anything. I thought it was a memorable experience, but all of them were taking shits at the exact same time, all releasing all at the same time.
dang.
That was memorable to me.
Is there something like that has a name for that? Is there a name for that, or is that just like is there a time of the day everybody just looks at their
Group poop.
sundials and it's like, well, it's time to
No,
no?
I don't. No. It
It's a
just
very
Maybe I
questioning
wasn't
no.
supposed to see that.
whenever nature calls,
Was this a thing before your induction into their society or after that group poops became a thing?
Maybe you guys just all stunk up after a while.
It was definitely after. I mean, come on. Who doesn't like a good group poop?
Do they just like do it like while they're farming, so they're like fertilizing while they're going kind of thing?
Yeah,
Interesting.
kind of. Yeah, sure. We can go for that.
All right. It is now canon. Kuatoa group poop.
Come on.
Well, I think that concludes our questions. Yes, the Jeff Goldblum dinosaur poop meme. Excellent. Well, I do hope you wash your hands, but we are moving on to the meat of it. The action. The good stream, which I just threw up for you guys. So last we left, you guys had escaped the clutches of yet another coven of hags that somehow seem to be related to the other hags you've encountered on your journeys here. You managed to kill one of them, but the other two made it away. They seemed oddly non-confrontational for the most part until they kind of learned who you were, what you had done to their comrades. And then, yeah, Detective Easter was very clever in tossing over the cauldron of blue fire, which kept them from maneuvering around in the waist-high bone pile shallows. And yeah, I think it was revealed to you by one of the hags that the blue fire reveals the skeleton or body parts of Quinn, the girl that was unjustly murdered in the Tower of Pestilence, that you were set to sort of honor her death with the lantern that you placed at the top. So you guys have a decision to make. You can stay here, you can uncover all the pieces, or you can say the job is done and continue back and find out what adventures await you next. But I will leave it to you guys on what you want to do.
Can I go over to the mirrors and look through the drawers?
Sure. You kind of rummage through the drawers, and all you seem to be coming up with are like just random odds and ends. These seem to be like little trinkets, everything from rings to necklaces to any manner of like timepieces and jewelry that were or did belong to any of the corpses. Like these seem to be little treasures or little collections that they've picked up along the way.
I notice any of them that are particularly rare stones?
You're not really a jeweler or anything. I mean, there's some big ones in there, but you know, you can kind of tell that some of them are fake, or a lot of them are just sort of lowly, like jewelry, like the stuff that you'd maybe get at like a dollar store or a costume shop. There are some, you know, like very simple silver rings and things like that, but for the most part, these are all just like commoners' jewelry. They seem to maybe have more sentimental value than actual monetary value. But it's all three of the drawers. I mean, they are like, you can bury your hands in them.
Oh, well.
Imagine like buckets of Legos. Like, yeah, maybe that piece you're looking for is in there, but right off the top.
Before you said that, before you said how many there were, I was gonna say, do I see any like family sigils? That sounds like a lot of.
Oh, speaking of sigils, I was going to take that banner.
Sure thing. Yeah, the banners.
Just as evidence that we know that that's probably something that they belong to. So.
Mm-hmm. You've collected one of these banners before, not you specifically, but Blib has made.
I already have the banner. I took it last time.
I think you asked for it.
Did he get it last time?
One of you has it. That's it's not an issue.
Okay. Well, if Josh has it, that's fine. I wasn't sure if it was on the wall or not.
Yeah, I took it last time.
You took it and ran.
I mean, if you want it, Kobe, you can have it, but
No, I just want to make sure that mostly
Who's Kobe?
it was coming with our group.
I just felt like
We were medic.
Since I brought it up, and then you made us kill them poor witches for no reason.
I made you kill the poor witches for no reason. Do you not recall our time in Edgewood?
There was a reason for that.
And what reason was that?
Bad directions.
Whose bad directions?
Billy Currington. And the guitar comes in now.
Well, I think it's obvious that these hags were connected to the hags in Edgewood, and Perhaps, as you hinted on earlier, maybe you saw another in one of your other journeys prior to us meeting each other. Nonetheless, these types of monsters cannot be allowed to operate around this area. They do nothing but evil.
Nick sort of chimes up and says, I mean, they were only continuing the research that was in this tower. I mean, yeah, like some of the other ones are evil, but these ones didn't really attack us right away.
And do you think it's okay to continue the research of this tower, Nick, after we went through and saw the monstrosities that were inside? Do you not recall the brown-eyed man?
Pot calling a kettle black over here.
And what the fuck are you talking about, Blib?
Look, guys, let's not get into it, okay? Like, Blib obviously has some, and Detective Easter, you're maybe part of, like, but it's fine, you know? All I'm saying is, it's a very dark world we live in. Maybe the end is, like, a noble cause, but, yes, ultimately, maybe the path to get there was a little, you know, but who knows? Like, maybe all these people were prisoners, or, like, condemned murderers, or, like, you know, we can't pretend to, yeah. Maybe
Well,
they
decided to attack an official of Nicantes.
Maybe
after.
they all volunteered.
And I think
And
they were.
what knowledge do you have of this?
None. I'm merely playing the devil's advocate is all.
Well, if you would like to defend them in the court of law, be my guest.
I don't think there's anyone to, oh, you're talking about the Hags. I thought you were talking about the wizard in the tower. I was going to say, I think he's gone.
Yes, I was talking about the Hags. I believe that when they decided to attack us just for letting them know that we stopped the evil that was occurring in the city of Edgewood, that they too are culpable in that heinous crimes that were committed in Edgewood.
I mean, like, a couple bad eggs ruin the whole thing? Is that right? Yeah, I mean, I understand.
No, it's not a couple bad eggs ruin the whole thing, but they can't just turn around and attack because we dealt justice and helped a city that was being crippled and enslaved. Can you imagine if your town was under some sort of spell against their own power and it was some sort of
I can tell there's
achievement of
no swaying you. I admire your just devotion to this. Yes, much honor to you, Detective Easter. I rescind my complaint.
See what you started, Blib? You just had to say something. Getting them all fired up again.
How did I get him fired up?
But I think
You
we
started
have
the comment to begin with.
I think we have a decision to make here. We can either
Obviously, go find the body parts.
I agree with Blib in this instance.
Whose body parts?
the ones that would light from the fire.
Who has
Is that what you're referring to?
Who has the skull again?
What's a skeleton?
The skull again.
Josh should have that. I think he
Josh.
received both the flag and the skull.
Who's Josh?
Sorry, metagaming, sorry. I thought you were, as the DM, asking us a question.
If we're wondering where an item went, we can assume it's in the bag of holding.
So who has the lantern?
Tyrell.
Tyrell, can you pull out your lantern and we can see the effects on the skull?
Yeah, I have the banner and the skeleton head. They're right here. As I pull them out of the bag of holding.
Oh. Blib had both of them. Oh, excellent. Well, it clearly is lit and is illuminating the skull. Do we have any other unassuming body parts we can hold up to this lantern?
I've pulled my pants down.
Madam Blibdoopulip, why have you pulled your pants down?
I go to pull them back up.
You approach Blib to pull back up her pants. Blib.
It's okay, Blue. It all happened. It happens to all of us every once in a while. No shame. As I bend down to pull up.
Sounds like Blib is willing to let you pull up her pants.
What did we see when she pulled her pants down?
I was waiting for someone to ask.
We saw nothing because of modesty.
I mean,
I want to know if this whole time Stony has thought it was a girl and if there was like a set of nuts there.
It's like,
I imagine as Stony, I'd be pretty surprised.
It's actually just another set of lobster claws underneath.
Stony, all you seem to see, I mean, you were curious and you looked, but there just seems to be not quite a patch of like fur down there, but like frills, like some like much like the frills or the fins that come off of the back of Blibdoopulip.
Like gills,
Yes.
just a regular person underneath.
gilly vagina. Okay, all right.
Nick says, okay, well, does anyone else have ideas that don't involve exposing yourself to the rest of us?
Well, we can look around here for any other clues, but I don't know why these hags have.
Okay,
said that they were
I'm
here
sorry, but I
investigating.
have to know, why did you pull your pants down? I am so confused. Nick
Well-
Nick is sort of like hands in the air, like why?
I imagine that metagaming.
You asked if anyone had any other body parts.
I specifically think that he said bones, and I think you forgot that you were a woman now, and you assumed there was a penis there, maybe.
No, there's a penis there. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there.
Okay, did we see any other laying around bones in this castle?
We are in a laboratory. Should we operate on Blib? Just to understand, this is a species I have no idea what it is. Sorry, Blib, but I am very curious.
And which one of you is qualified to operate?
Probably Tyrell.
I, for one, am all for body modification, but I am not going to be modified in any way. No offense, Tyrell, but I would prefer a much cleaner area and a professional hand to do so.
Well, Tyrell does have a professional hand. It's made of iron.
Ah, yes. So he has one hand to operate. That's perfect. Again, I maintain my stance of not wanting surgery. But
We're not doing it on you, we're doing it on Blib.
Is the
that's
lake
great,
still on
but-
fire?
It's sort of subsiding now. It's it's patchy in little spots where the candle like light is sort of burning out the oil.
And is it this? It's the same fire that we have in the lantern, right?
It is.
So does the fire on the lake make any of the bones glow or anything in the water?
Go ahead and give me a perception roll. See if you notice anything.
Oh, I'm not prepared at all. I've been 18. Pretty
Okay.
solid first roll of the night.
Oh, not enough. Sorry.
So with the fire, even in its dwindling state, you can kind of see, like a blue, like highlighted, what looks like a foot from one of the coffins over to the right. You sort of approach and look inside the coffin, and sure enough, just sort of picking it up and inspecting it and holding it next to the light that's sort of fading away on the sort of shallows, you see that it is a female foot, and it is glowing much like the skull that you saw just a moment ago.
Is it attached to anything, or is it just a foot?
Just a foot, cut off like right at the ankle.
Okay, pick it up.
All right,
I'll smell it.
It is a right foot.
Right foot. Hey guys, I got a right foot.
Is it the correct foot though?
Look, it's glowing.
Oh.
Madam Bliv, do you still have that hand that you picked up while we were on the second floor? And from that jar?
No. Nor do I remember picking up a hand. I don't think that was me.
I have it if my voice can come through now.
It can come
Ah,
through.
yes, Tyrell, I can hear you. Do you have
Damn
the
it.
hand?
I do.
Do we think that one of the graves out back is missing some of these bones, or do you think all of the bones are spread out?
I don't know. That is a great question. Could be anywhere. I would imagine, we might find a chunk of them together, but clearly the head and the foot were separated, so other pieces might be separated as well. Tyrell, will that hand glow near the light?
I try to bring it near the light.
It illuminates much like the others you have.
Can I ask, when we bring all these body parts together, are they going to reconnect themselves? 'Cause I don't know if I can handle that.
That is a concern. We may want to take some of these pieces to the artificers, or perhaps turn them into the keepers of justice.
Why do
Show
we
a
want-
hand. Who's against that idea? I'm against it.
So, Detective Easter, with your passive perception, off in the distance, you can see, sort of floating above the water, what looks like a spectral woman in some sort of, like, medical gowns. And she just appears to be pointing deeper into the cave. You can see that her left hand, left foot, and head seem to be a little bit more tangible than the rest of her, which seems to be quite transparent. But she's just floating there above the water, pointing directly back into the cave where you saw the Fomorian.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to lift up my finger and point, so that way the rest of the group can hopefully catch on and see what I have saw.
Sure. The spirit does not fade away. Any of those that choose to look may, and you see the same thing I just described to Detective Easter.
All right, you guys want to go back in the cave then?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna follow that beautiful woman over there.
Does anybody
she-
have any experience with spectrals? Nick, you're a wanderer. Have you seen anything like this?
I've seen my fair share of spirits. I mean, she obviously wants us to go that direction. I'm inclined to believe her based on the stories we've heard, but, spirits typically want to try and move on to the afterlife. I'd say that's their main motivator. And, there's some, like, bad spirits out there, but she looks like a nice lady.
Could it be a spirit of one of the hags?
So I want to use a divine sense. And
Oh.
I can just detect evil forces, but it's pretty much celestial fiends or undead within 60 feet.
Yeah, so this is a specter, a spirit, for a fact. They classify maybe as undead, but you're not getting the same vibe as, like, it's not a necromancy thing. This is not a corpse that's been resurrected. This is, like, a spirit.
Does this area that we're standing on Is it like a desecrated
Yes. You
area?
you get that sense from the mounds of corpses or skeletons that litter the shallows in front of you.
Well, I'm always up for a spooky adventure.
Let's do it.
Tyrell, what say you?
Inkies, gang, let's go.
I don't know what that means. I'm game.
All right. So we'll use this as a marker to move everybody for now. You guys want to just hop along the coffins to get where we're going here?
That works.
Hop, a hippy dippy 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 hip hip hop, and don't stop the rock kind of man.
Should you roll for Nick to see if he falls in?
No, we don't need that right now. Because he'd fail.
It's bonus content.
Yeah. Yeah, if we want to
Only the paid subscribers are gonna get that.
watch 5
Can you please
hours
subscribe to our
of us
Patreon?
rolling.
The only fans gets that. Yeah.
You guys make it through the coffins, sort of floating them over above. You land on the platform, and you see the spectral figure just sort of patiently awaiting in the center of where the Fomorian lies dead. She doesn't appear to be pointing anywhere, but it seems to just be an approximation, maybe. It's somewhere around her.
I can echolocate and hold the rope if we want to cross.
Oh yeah, you guys make it if you want to cross. There's no initiative.
I don't know. I don't know if they want to cross. I mean,
Right. I just mean, if you guys want to traverse things, we're not going to
Gotcha.
worry about that right now.
I will. I don't know if everyone else is.
Yep.
Cool. There's an objection. Cool.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okie dokie.
Sailor's son brings out light, man. I like that.
You're welcome, girl.
I can't see a thing.
Open your eyes.
They're wide open. It's so bright. I can't see a thing.
Close your eyes.
I think it's funny that Josh's character is like the smallest model, but in actuality, it's probably the tallest with his lobster head.
We can buff them up here. Whoa. Maybe that's
Oh my god, that's awesome.
No, that works.
Because
I know.
I
It's
sit at
either-
6'5", so I imagine Josh is gonna
It's
be
either
close to that
too big or
taller.
too small.
Oh, that's perfect.
No, that looks about right. I think,
I like it.
I think you guys
Fearsome.
don't understand my true stature.
Make the face of the character picture.
That looks about right.
Black.
Can you make me smaller?
Are you smaller? I feel like you're actually the appropriate size, but
Yeah, it would be funny. And it would make more sense why people lose me all the time.
we just canonically changing your height right here now in the cave.
What? How tall is Blip? Like 8 foot?
I
We
mean,
lose you
I
because
thought you were
your microphone's
5'4".
I'm not
bigger.
6 foot.
You were like 5'4".
Not even that.
I like how we get to talking about the height of
seriously,
one
respect my
character,
height.
and now suddenly everybody wants. You do look
Really?
so much smaller now, though, and you're not that size.
I like the other. I like it the other way.
The giant in the back.
I
think
wish
it's great.
I wish there was something in between these two, but if
I think the
that's
size is right.
if that's what you want,
That
you know.
looks so much cooler.
Okay, all right.
Weird that I am 3
Can I-
feet
can
taller
I
than
be
everyone
smaller?
else.
Oh my god. Oh, you're already the 1x1. Duh.
No.
I'm gonna lose you, dude. There's no way.
That's too small. I'm not. That's a Billy Banger size.
I would agree.
That's okay.
You were so distraught by his death that you sought out spells to make you his height so you could remember his memory.
There's plenty of potions and things.
Good
I'm sure
night.
if you want to be, yeah, but
Blip
Yeah.
looks so much more fearsome right now.
Nick
This
sort
is the
of.
way I've always looked. Now you guys truly understand why I don't fear dragons, why they fear me.
With
Like-
Sailor Sun Soul's bright light, we now see the true stature of Blib Tupola.
I'm sorry, guys.
Nick says, "Yeah, can you dim that light a little bit? Because I don't really want to see. I feel like I've seen enough of Blib tonight, more so than I wanted to."
That makes the image of Blib and Tony so much like weirder, like some giant fish person.
So, Ghost Girl.
As you guys approached, she doesn't seem to say anything or change her posture. She just sort of has one hand over the other as she floats in front of you. She does sort of do a little bit of a slow like pan around to see in the area what there is to see, but she looks puzzled as to where she's leading you, but she knows that she's close.
Can you hold that lantern up, whoever has it? See if we can see some glowing somewhere.
It's a skull. Wait, never mind.
The lantern.
Yeah, I have the skull.
Yeah, Tyrell has the lantern, I think.
So earlier when you said you pulled out the lantern and the skull, you just pulled out the skull.
Banner. I said banner.
Mm.
Yeah, he said banner.
Then Tyrell's had the lantern this whole time, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah, I think his mic was busted and he was trying to say it.
Gotcha.
I just pictured that conversation between Stoney and Tug,
Yep.
like in a comic book. And who's got the lantern? I got the lantern. No, wait, this is a skull. I thought you said banner. I have.
So Tyrell, you notice that the lantern sort of like emits a beam, like a cone of light, right? Like it shoots about 10 feet in front of you in a focused beam before it starts to fade out. Where are you pointing this lantern?
Due north.
Due north is this way. I had to think about it. You point it right at Sailor Sun, and Sailor Sun sort of puts her hand up like, "Why are you shining this lantern in my eyes?"
I am already have enough light, thank you.
Yeah, maybe you can understand how I feel. Okay. Thanks.
No one can
You're
understand.
welcome.
I'm assuming nothing's happening, so other than
nothing on
angst and okay.
nothing on Sailor Sun is illuminating like it did with the skull, the hand, or the foot.
Okay, so
Nick says, "Do you want to go ahead and scan me to make sure I'm not carrying any corpses as well?"
yeah, yeah.
You shine the light on me. He says, "I was kidding. I'm not carrying any corpses." And you can see based
Can I
on
verify?
you can verify based on the lamp. There's
All right.
he even sort of pirouettes for you and does a little twirl.
All right. Next.
Can I just offer the foot to the ghost lady?
Sure. You approach with the foot, and she seems to like move her head very slowly to like acknowledge you. It's hard to see her face really, because it is just a skull. But you sort of offer it with both hands, and she does not seem to accept it in any way. She just seems to float there still.
Can I awkwardly toss it at her?
Yeah, you toss it, and it goes right through her chest and plops onto the ground behind her.
Can I just say a big ope and walk around and pick it back up?
She sort of looks at you as best as you can tell. She's not completely, but you get some semblance of like disdain or upset or like, that wasn't a good move maybe. But she maintains her composure.
Oh,
She stays, and she just continues to sort of pan around. And she sort of takes one of her hands off the other and makes like an open palm and sort of does a sweeping motion around the area.
All right, Tyrell, just walk around a little bit with the lantern.
Just some
I had to walk around. Why'd
notable
you come up to me?
some notable things you can maybe point it at. There's, quite some stalactites. There's 2 piles of bones. There's mushrooms.
Avoid the piles of bones.
There is the body of the Fomorian. There's your compatriots.
All right, Ogre Boy's next.
All right. So this is big enough. You're sort of on the left side, so you approach on the left side. You don't see really much of anything. You sort of go around to the right side, and you can see in like his little pack, in his little like satchel, almost not like a satchel, but like it's like a clasp, right? Like he has
Fanny
like
pack.
a little like brooch, right? And this brooch happens to be the forearm that is glowing blue. It is a right hand and forearm up to the elbow.
Do I know? Is this guy a ruffian?
Based on his apparel, yes.
Oh, okay, great. Didn't know if we established what that meant, but I'll take it. Oh, hey guys,
maybe
check
in a
this
past
out.
life. But yeah, you sort of
Oh gosh, it's a ruffian.
wave.
I know.
You sort of wave the hand and forearm, the right hand and forearm up to the elbow, and it sort of, the wrist is still mobile. This one's a little bit more fleshy than the other one. Like this one was kept intact better than the skull. But you see the spirit in front of you dissipate. You don't quite see where she went based on your view around at the
And my
moment.
blindness, my nearsightedness.
But you have another body part.
Are
you guys?
We took the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Blip, can we throw this in the bag? I do not want to hold this. It's stinky.
It is in fact stinky.
I mean, I'm holding the skull. I
Oh,
think
cool. You can carry this too.
No, I think we each need to hold the parts we find.
That does sound fun. Hey, Nick, here you go.
Nick sort of takes it with both hands and very carefully places it in his bag.
All right, keep looking. Other piles of bones.
Nick says, if any of the rest of you wish to release these body parts, I would happily carry them for you. I can even keep a running list of what we have so far.
Wait, does
Sounds
Nick
good.
have a bag of holding, or is it more like a
Yeah.
backpack and that hand is like hanging outside on the side of it?
You don't know if it's a bag of holding, but you assume with his wealth, he has like the Gucci of bags of holding, right? Like,
Oh, I like him even more now.
All right, I'm gonna yell out Kobe and shoot it right at him.
he sort of panically like catches the foot that you tossed at him and sort of shoots you a scowl and puts it in his bag. It's not usually something that fun-loving, easygoing Nick does, but he definitely shot you a dirty look there. He says, if you want to screw around and get us cursed, maybe do it on your own time, away from the rest of us.
I want to pull my trident right at him and be like, he's being sketchy now. So let's keep an eye on him. Why does he want to collect all these bones all of a sudden?
I'm being sketchy. Did you not see the daggers she shot at you from her eye sockets when you threw her own foot through her ethereal form?
I tossed it. I didn't know if she couldn't take it up herself. It was just a little toss. I didn't throw it at her in a mean way. You're being super weird about collecting these bones all of a sudden.
Look, man, all I'm saying is I don't want to be cursed, all right? Curses are nasty things. I know Soul here just managed to save you from one that we ran into earlier with the whole lycanthropy thing, but maybe some of us are not so easily uncursed, okay?
I agree, we should not mess around with curses. Can you imagine, Tony, what would have happened if we weren't able to cure you? You might have already been dead.
I mean, Detective
Unlikely
Easter
comment again.
was willing to kill you on the spot just because you maybe had lycanthropy. So at least someone respects curses here. All I'm saying is maybe we treat these articles or these body parts with respect just to be on the safe side. If someone else wants to hold the body parts, that's totally fine.
I'm gonna walk over to a pile of bones.
All right. Which pile of bones? You got one behind you, and you got one over to your right.
The one that's not next to all the other pile of bones.
All right. You go to the one behind you. You shine the light on the pile of bones, and there's nothing there. Just bones.
Well, guys, I guess that's it. Kidding.
Great adventure.
And what's the spectral doing?
She dissipated as soon as you found the forearm and hand.
Perhaps we need to go back into the tower and look further.
Seems like she's...
I mean, I'll go check the other pile of bones, too.
All right, you go over to the...
Just kidding, guys.
Go over to the other pile of bones, and again, you shine the lantern around, making sure to be very thorough. There are no bones or limbs that appear to glow with the same blue that you've seen on the others.
Do I need to put night vision on?
Yes, a
Alright.
high-pitched whine activates as you put on... No.
Oh, dang it. It's like, are you giving me night vision? By the way?
Maybe that's something you could make.
Yeah. I already have night vision naturally, so probably
But
not
think
solving
about
anything.
all those people and creatures who don't. Could corner the market.
Well, they don't have any money. All right, guys. There's nothing else right here. So where to next?
Perhaps we could search the tower again, considering that the hand was inside the tower and it glowed blue.
Perhaps.
Nick sort
Alright,
of...
We wander the tower with these held out, see if they glow brighter.
Nick sort of says, that's not a bad idea. Like, she glowed brighter in the pieces I think that we found, right? Like, that was a corresponding thing, right?
Oh. Okay. I'm following Detective Easter.
I don't know if anybody
I
else
will lead the way back to the...
listened to the hag, but she said all we needed to do is bury him in some sort of way, so...
Yeah.
That's if we trust the hag. I mean... I don't know.
You know what they say, never trust a hag.
I mean, normally, yeah, I know I wouldn't, but in this instance, I feel like she was just trying to get rid of us by actually telling the truth.
Well, let's go investigate the tower again, I guess, and look for the spectral to see if it points us in the right direction.
All right. Which way are you guys going to go up? So there's two ways out. You can go out the sort of cave system back here, where you'll have to go underwater for a bit to get back out. And then you'll have to swim around. Or you can go back up the ladder through the fireplace.
Fireplace ladder sounds pretty cool.
Everybody on board for that?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Bingo, bango. Okie dokie. You guys are back up onto the first floor.
Not seeing any glowing lights to lead the way, but I guess we see a zombie dude that fell down last time, maybe, that we need to take care of real quick.
He's impaled on the table. Just like the one that's down there.
Should we fetch some information from him?
I mean, if you want to try and commune with the dead, yeah, if you... You sort of approach
Yeah,
and...
I don't know how to do that.
You approach and you see him make like a lame attempt to raise his arms. Like he's impaled right through the chest with a giant like wooden stake. So he's sort of lodged in there. He can't get out, like he's kind of dangling. But he still obviously is trying to like get your brains or whatever.
Oh great. Hey sir, where are the other parts that we need? Where are they? Oh, the second floor? Even that we were there before. Okay. No, not the second. You don't want us here? Okay. I tried the rest of the group. He's not being cooperative. We'll have to find our own way.
Christian, seeing some free XP, I'm going to put my echo over there and attack with a stab. To
You kill it.
Zombie.
Kill it with no problem whatsoever.
Perfect.
Go ahead and add 50 experience points to all of your stats there.
It's great and all, but did you not hear that he said that there are some brochure maps at the bottom of the tower? Thursday.
Wait, have we found a map?
There was a bit of a like sort of frustrated groan from the undead as Detective Easter stabbed it, like almost like he was confused as to why you killed him because he gave you the answers you wanted, but maybe you just didn't understand him.
Yeah, no, he was undead.
He didn't understand.
I speak with those on the other path of life. All right, where to now?
You, Detective Easter being closest to the door, and the doors being closed. You hear a storm.
It just closed?
No, they were closed before. They did not mysteriously close behind you, but you do hear thunder and heavy rain hitting the doors outside. Now that you've climbed back up to the top level, it is very clearly storming outside.
So peaceful.
The storm has come in. Are we worried about the mechanics in this tower and the lightning striking it?
Worried or
He's gone through
intrigued?
the storm before.
Mhm. Yeah, let's head upstairs.
Might as well.
Nick says, so you don't want to check this level?
I mean, do you see any glowing parts?
I mean, what did you even shine the light at anything? You just came straight up and you were like, well, I don't see anything here.
Yeah, I mean, the zombie said... Oh, wait, never mind. He was not cooperative. Yeah, I guess if it doesn't take too long, I could try to walk around up here a little bit.
All right. I mean,
maybe the dark corners would probably be good. Oh, there's some glowing stuff over there, actually. Towards the bed.
You tell me what you want to point at. You want to point at the bed? All right.
Yeah, let's go to the bed, guys. Let's go to bed.
So you pointed at the bed, and doesn't seem to be anything on it. You kind of peek down and point it underneath the bed. There's nothing underneath the bed. There are some spiders that sort of scurry away.
I don't know if I had the guts to just go into the bed that quickly. Okay. It's very brave.
There's some dressers and things over
the armoire.
the
I gotta
armoire.
look in the armoire.
All right. You open the armoire, and what do you find but a really cool, what appears to be well-preserved duster. All black, very nice leather, a black leather duster.
I just won the game, guys. That's amazing. Can I put that on real quick?
Yeah, so you kind of have to take off the cloak that you have, but you put on this duster, and it almost, like, cinches to you. Like, it, like, form fits to you.
Ooh.
And it is, like, it's, like, magically tailored black duster, black leather duster. You have...
Can I use my bone wand of magic detection on it real quick?
Sure.
Just to see. All right, that's one charge.
So you use the one charge, and you instantly realize that you feel more charismatic, and you maybe have a little bit better perception, like a +1 to perception and a +1 to persuasion.
Wow.
You feel like you would be really good at ocular pat downs.
Just in case someone's trying to get into a club, right? You got to
Yeah.
ocular pat down, make sure that they're before they get in.
All right.
I know a guy
I'm
named Country
ready.
Mac one time did an ocular pat down. Saw a guy who had a knife in his boot.
But from the armoire emerges a new Tyrell with some sick drip.
Hey guys.
I respect him more. I actually stand back and give him a little bit of space.
How do you say what?
Yes, thank you. Yes. All right, and I have a new stride in my strut here as I want to head up to the other corner there.
Sure thing. You go into the dark corner. That's fine. All right, you head over.
The
and
darkest one. Yeah.
You sort of look at the bookshelf. You don't really see anything. You look through the crates. In the crates, you don't find anything, but you you rummage through some of the lesser crates and like chests, and you're just finding old and broken items.
I do want to double check that there's nothing just rolled up in those, big rugs, because that happens a lot. Someone's, wants to hide a body.
You sort of throw the rugs down onto the ground in like a fashion that they're gonna roll out, and the only thing that pours out is hundreds and hundreds of spiders all across the floor.
How big?
These are like tiny little spiders. They're black little spiders, maybe the size of your finger print. But they
Is anyone's characters afraid of spiders?
Ranger Steve was, but he's not here.
I remember Ranger Steve was.
Right. Yeah. No. I would really like, if I could, to try to capture some for like a spider farm, because I always need spider webs for contraptions. I have a free glass jar.
Sure. You're kind of up high where the spiders are down low. You can call out to maybe some of your compatriots to see if they're willing
here
to
we go.
capture some spiders for you.
Soul, son? I'm here. I want to throw the glass jar and just see if that was enough.
All right.
Heads up.
Give me dexterity check.
Me?
Yes.
Did you say charisma?
No, I said dexterity.
See if you throw it right into the pole there.
It's gonna be a 11.
All right, it's a okay throw. I mean, it's within Soul's reach. She only maybe has to take one step to either side to catch it. But Soul, I'm gonna need a dexterity check from you as well to see if you catch the jar.
Assuming that I even want to try.
Right.
No.
So what is in it for me to help you catch spiders that I don't care
After
for?
while I throw it, it's over.
The
I
jar.
get to
I've
answer.
never gotten any help from any of your
The jar
powers.
whizzes.
I'm also doing this in quotations.
The jar whizzes past you and shatters onto the floor.
I guess I'll help. Oh, sorry.
There's just broken glass between Detective Easter, Blib, and
Great.
Sailor Sun now. Most of the spiders have scurried off to darker corners.
Since I don't wear shoes, I'm gonna note where the glass is to. The bottom of my feet are pretty rough because I've never worn shoes, but I'm gonna try to make sure that I'm not stepping right on glass.
Sure.
He's so poor.
I'm going to be a gentle man.
How rude!
I'm gonna smash the glass even finer, so that way it doesn't rip anyone's foot.
All right. Do you have protective boots on of any kind, or are you just gonna go step on a bunch of glass?
Oh, I've got great boots. The
Oh.
finest, the greatest boots ever.
Okay.
They're
Can
good enough
clean
to
it
live on
up,
the moon.
but
I mean, you gotta have some
Just
good
then
boots.
take
to live
just
on
for
the
the
moon.
hell of this, I'm gonna roll this and see if the glass breaks your armor class.
Oh no.
14.
Ooh,
All right.
crap.
it's a tie.
Then I want to hobble up and down like they do in Turtles in Time.
Okay. Sure thing. Please describe it.
I step on it and immediately break my vow of never opening my mouth in battle since I was battling the glass. And go, yow! And my tongue is out and everything. And I'm hearing vaguely that glass will get in my mouth.
Be careful, Sailor Son. All Tendraka know you must be aware of glass on the ground.
I'll know now.
Nick sort of turns to the party and says, "Well, I'm glad Tyrell got that super cool duster that fits him so well. That's a really cool article of clothing. Very nice, very shui. But I'm gonna guess that because the Spectre's not here, that maybe there's nothing on this floor."
Well, yeah, thanks for that. After having to go, I can't blame you too much. I mean, there's a duster, so it's cool, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we're investigating, right? Like
Yeah.
it's good to check things out, because maybe now we know for sure if she's not here, then there's nothing for us to find aside from maybe cool articles of clothing.
On to the second floor, then.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I vote Stony to pick the next spot for the lantern.
I'll make a solid decision. Did it because he's stoned, guys? God.
Yeah. That was real good, bro.
Bro.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment. It's not. It's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not. It's gender neutral, so it's all good, bro.
Anaki?
Right.
All right, you guys are on the second floor where you found many jars of organs and body parts and coils and tables and apothecary things.
This is where we found the hand, right?
It is.
Yeah, and speaking of hands, mine's very tired, so I'm handing the lantern to Stony.
All right, you hand the lantern to Stony.
Did Tug take all of the candles that were on this floor? I seem to remember, like, Tug took some candles at a time.
There were a ton of wicks and things.
If there's a candle, I want to go try to get it and put it in that's blue flame over there. I'm gonna have just so we have another light as well.
Sure, yeah. So you take one of the wicks and you illuminate it in the cauldron of blue flame. This one's not a focus beam like Tyrell's is, but this one is like a very close vicinity. I mean, this is like in your personal space kind of thing. So you'd have to hold the object in your other hand in order to really tell if this was going to glow or not.
I'm just going to kind of walk through the shelves, whatever way Stoney's not going. I'm just going to try to walk through the shelves, avoiding the traps that we know that were here earlier, the dips in the floor.
So Stoney's sort of got the left sort of most one. Which of the aisles do you want to go down here?
I'll start the closest one to the flame. To get the flame over there.
Oh, okay.
So the one on the far right, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'll watch out for that hole in the floor.
Sure thing. This floor or thing is gonna be annoying. But yes, you make your way down this entire aisle, making sure to avoid the holes in the floor. You make it all the way to the other side, making note to hold the wick very close to all of the jars on your way down, but nothing comes up.
Okay. Well, then I would just continue along to the other side as Stoney's doing his bit, so you can go over to him.
Stony, where are you pointing this thing?
at the shelves.
Okay, you sort of stand in the middle and just sort of from right to left move the beam of light across the shelves, and on the second shelf, on the second tier, you see in a jar what appears to be a heart, and it is glowing blue. You approach and you shine the light more focused on the bottle, and sure enough, that same distinct glow blue is emanating from the heart inside this jar.
All right, I'm gonna pick it up and take it to Nick.
All right. Nick sort of warily puts his hands out, says, do you trust me now?
Nope. Just hand it to him anyways.
He sort of just shakes his head, but he doesn't say anything. Anybody else want to search anywhere? There's still a couple aisles to maybe go down.
I'll just continue down the aisle until I make my way back.
All right. You sort of round the corner, and you start to make your way down the aisle here. And on the right side...
What was that you just picked up?
Huh? I didn't pick anything.
What was
Me?
that? Yeah, what would you guys just pick up?
There was a
A
heart.
heart.
Oh, heart, okay.
You don't notice anything, Detective Easter, on the right side of the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
But as you carry your lantern... Or wait, sorry, am I looking...
Candles.
Yeah. You carry your candles, down the left side. You don't notice any jars or anything that glow blue, but you do notice a treasure chest. It has a big padlock on the outside.
Yeah, I'm going to poke it with my silver sword.
All right. It sort of jingles, but it seems to be made of a pretty sturdy iron. Doesn't break.
Okay.
This is your lucky break, potentially. Let's go.
Yeah, so you said it was locked?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a crowbar in my inventory, so I'm going to try to break it open.
All right. Give me a strength check.
$13.
13. All right, you managed to sort of pry these iron bands free from parts of the wood, but it sort of just deforms them. They're still around the chest, you wouldn't be able to open it necessarily, but you can kind of see inside, there's enough of a crack that you've allowed to open up, and you sort of shine your light in there, and you see a brighter blue glow emanate from inside the chest.
Okay. Can I pick up the chest?
Yes, you do. It is heavy and it is.
I'll drop the candle.
Sure.
Safe to do that. Yeah.
You set
Easy.
it down. It is big though. I mean, it takes a lot for you to get this thing out, and you sort of heft it to the ground and set it down in front of you.
Okay. Then I'll start to drag it back to the group.
Sure thing. You're actually impressed at the craftsmanship of the shelves, that it held such a thing.
Can anybody help me open this chest here? I believe we have another part inside.
Is there a lock on it?
There is.
I have locksmith tools.
Mm-hmm.
I say, can I just use my staff on it to break the lock?
That sounds more fun.
I mean, if you have tools, you might be able to reuse the lock again, so...
Nick sort of steps up and says, maybe delicacy is the right path here, considering we're working with, corpse that's been
Okay. Good point.
desecrated.
Do I need
This
to
is
check?
true.
Yeah, Terrell, you're so aggressive.
Do you need to check, you said? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying, do you need to check the lock? I was like, check the lock for what? But yes, if you're going...
a keyhole.
you find the keyhole in the lock, yes. And if you're going to attempt to pick said lock, I'm going to need you to do a sleight of hand.
Was it the magic trick?
I feel like that, you're not stealing something, but it does require a very specific kind of finesse with your dexterity.
Okay, that's what you meant though. Like that's under dexterity, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I was like, I can't remember what the hell this is. I thought I had to have a specific spell for a second. Okay.
So do you watch me do it again, or was that good enough for you?
Or you are on mute if you did something, Josh. You have not been talking this whole time.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, what just happened?
I don't know what Josh did.
That was the joke.
Is this a SpongeBob thing? You're like, you want to see me run to that tree and back? You want to see me do it again?
Yeah, like you said, do sleight of hand. Well, come on, guys. What
Is it unlocked?
So,
I checked to see is it unlocked.
You do check to see, and it is locked. In fact.
That was a funny joke. I don't care who you are. You guys need to get a sense.
Yeah, we missed.
I
get the joke.
If you have to
That's how good you
explain
were,
it,
yeah.
believe me, and I tell many a jokes that I have to explain, they're not good jokes though, Josh. You just have to acknowledge it. Like,
Oh, you guys just need to get a sense of humor.
Yeah. Well, I got a 16.
all right, you jangle, and next thing you know, you might be calling yourself the lock-picking lawyer because the lock opens and the chest.
Oh, I look at it and it says master on it. I'm like,
It does in fact say master on it, but the chest opens, and what do you find inside? But what appears to be a bottom left, like a small rib bone, which is glowing blue in the light of the lantern. You find a sort of cylindrical vial that on the label says oil of slipperiness. The oil inside is like sort of black and thick, heavy, like liquid inside. It's a clear container. You also find inside what appears to be a like pan flute, and it has little rats like dancing along the top of the pan flute.
Rats, you say? Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the pan flute and investigate a little bit more.
All right. You sort of look at the rats, and they do very much appear to be dancing. This looks like a well-crafted instrument. It obviously had some importance. It was in a chest. It's got a little like strap with it, like a hand strap. You'll have to appraise it or attune to it to maybe get more knowledge, but it does look rather dusty, and it could maybe use some cleaning. But otherwise, all the tubes, pipes seem completely intact.
Is there any inscriptions on it? Other than like the rats that I see, is there like a name or anything like that, or a sigil?
No name or sigil, just the like ornate rats carved into the top portion. The last thing you find in the chest is another vial. This one's a little bit bigger, almost like baseball-sized glass, and it appears to be some kind of like ochre color, and it almost moves on its own within the little spherical container, but it's got like those fancy sort of toppers that has the like lever, like the metal sort of pressured lever on top of it. So it's sealed tight, while the other one only has a cork in it.
Any sort of false bottom, top, or side in this chest?
You sort of pad your hands around, or your claws around on the inside, and it's like a red velvet interior. You sort of can tell that it's been aged, but you peel it up, pad out. You've done your fair share of searching for secrets and things like that, but there are none to be found on this chest.
Okay. So we have the flute, the bone. There was that vial of brown. And what were? Can you explain, or can you just highlight the other things again?
I have them if you would like to know.
Go ahead, Tyrell. If you
Yeah.
want to do that, I'm going to grab a drink while you explain what you got.
What do you mean what we
Highlight.
just pulled, or you want the whole list?
Just like the list. Don't have to go into the big details. Just the list of them again.
Oh, I
just
don't
wanna
have a
hear
whole lot
one.
of details. I have the ruffian arm,
Okay.
the skeleton head, right? There's like a head, right?
Christian. So.
I'm pretty sure. And then the heart and a rib, and those are the body parts.
Oh,
because
I
in the
meant what he just talked about in the chest.
Oh, yeah, it was a rib in this chest.
Mm-hmm.
The oil of slipperiness, which I have that card, so I know what it is. And the pamphlet we picked up. There might have been one other thing I missed, but that's what I caught.
Okay.
Anybody else catch a different one? I thought that was everything.
No, I was just making sure because my headphones accidentally switched over to my iPhone.
There was a big
I had to switch back.
dong in there too, severed dong.
Did anybody pick up the oil of slipperiness?
I have it in my hands, but I guess if somebody is particularly interested.
Nope, you're good. I didn't know if we picked up everything that was in the chest.
Sorry, I don't know if I clarified either, but the other one, the ochre-colored one, it is labeled, and it says ochre jelly.
And did Tyrell pick that up, or is that still in there?
I missed that one, so no.
I'm gonna pull it out and hand it to Sailor's son.
Yo. Okay. I'll
How's
take
it
it.
smell?
Ah. Sweaty socks. Whatever a sock is.
Be careful. I think that stuff's very flammable.
Okay, what? Why would you hand it to me then?
Where to next?
Should we continue to the next floor?
Yeah, let's just move on, okay.
Or continue to search around this room? Did we search every aisle? I found this obviously in one of the aisles here. Were the other ones searched?
Oh, I'll go check the other aisle. Here, Tyrell, hold this. I'm gonna give it back to Tyrell and walk away.
Alright, there is only one more aisle to check. You all sort of look up at the vaulted ceiling and realize that the specter is floating above, again with the patiently awaiting sort of stance. So you get the sense that there may be one or two more things in this room potentially. But Sailor Son, you make your way down. Do you have the lantern you said, or a wick?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. The left side you do not find anything. The right side you don't find anything. All the way until the very end of the aisle on the very top right, do you notice what appears?
Guys, there's something up here. I would easily grab it, but I'm choosing to not because I'm short. But I would love if someone else could come and grab it for me.
I'll go down the other aisle and grab it.
All right. You
Someone
meet
tall.
Sailor Son and grab the jar off the shelf, and what do you find inside but a fleshy, deteriorating-looking foot in formaldehyde. It is glowing blue. With
Is it a lefty?
It is indeed.
I'll go walk
it
it back and hand it to Nick with decorum.
Nick sort of silently nods and says, "Thank you." You see the ghostly visage dissipate once more from the tower.
Now that's what I call a disappearing act. Am I right, Tug?
But
What the hell is going on?
Nick
Oh,
sort of
Josh made a magic
Nick-
trick earlier. No one got it.
Nick-
It was
Nick-
kind of lame, but it was so funny.
Nick sort of looks around the room and says, "There are definitely no bards in this group. That's for sure."
To the third floor.
All right.
Unless anybody would like to stay here, of course.
to the third.
To the third floor you go.
Thrice, I say, thrice.
All right. Ah. You guys have made it to the third floor. The third floor is host to what appeared to be some sort of giant amalgamation of body parts that you hacked to bits and threw onto the floor, and the groaning iron of the cages that are all containing every manner of stitched together some sort of weird necromantic activation. Like these things, like I described before, are spider-looking arm creatures and feet monsters and you name it, every possible combination. It looks like Sid's toys from Toy Story, right? Like there's just a hodgepodge of everything, and they're all groaning to get out of these cages.
I hope he doesn't exist in this world. So there's some foot guys out here. Is that what I heard?
Yep, there's some foot guys.
Wow. Wow.
Well, let's not waste any time. Let's shine the light around the room.
Good thinking.
All right, where do you starting? Where do you?
Is this like an episode of Dora the Explorer a little bit? Like,
Yeah.
Where should we
Hey,
go?
hey, look, man, I built these. Like I want to use them. Okay.
I want you to as well. I just got Dora vibes just now.
It's more Blue's Clues. All right, it's more Blue's Clues.
Ah,
That's where my
okay.
inspiration was.
Yeah, we don't have a backpack. That's where your
Christian,
inspiration-
your puzzles could be Blue's Clues levels, and 6 adults will spend like 4 hours not understanding it.
There's some there's some clear things to point it at. Just again, as the levels have progressed here, there's obviously a bunch of hacked to bits body parts from an already amalgamation monster. There's the table itself, and then there's any number of just caged creatures along the walls. We'll just
Yeah, Stony, if you still have the lantern, you should definitely point at this floorboard over by Tug's foot. I have a bad feeling about that floorboard. Okay.
Stony, I guess, did not react to your recommendation there.
I'm pretty far away from it, so
Okay. Do you have the lantern?
yep, I'll pass it forward.
Okay.
I will take. Is he passing it to somebody, or are you using it? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Passing it forward up.
To-
You guys are like 3 people in front of me.
Okay.
I mean, Tug is deceptively big here, but you guys are, you're not in combat. You can freely move through each other. But yeah, if you hand it off to Detective Easter, that's just fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it and just walk around like I'm a lighthouse. and hit every corner of this place.
All right. So shining it on the cages, there are 2 cages that notably stand out. There's one that appears to be a torso with what looks like protruding ribs from the torso, and then 6 arms that have been stitched to the sides of the torso, and it is like scaling like a spider around inside the cage. And you notice that the rib cage protruding from this creature is glowing blue.
Looks like we need this rib cage. Christian, can I keep shining around to find the next thing that may be glowing blue? See if there's anything else in here.
The other cage on the far side of the room that you're shining it at, in this cage there appears to be what is just a head with a single leg, and on that single leg is from the thigh all the way down to the ankle is the glowing blue leg. So it's just a male human head with one leg attached to the neck, and it is just hopping in place.
And here is the next one, guys. But let's unlock one at a time and take care of these abominations and gather the pieces that we need. Let's be careful not to destroy the glowing bits.
I'd vote leg. We technically already have a rib. I don't know if we need.
So
Does your body only require one rib or a whole rib cage?
Are we building a whole body, or are we just, continuing this fun Sid project?
Either way, it sounds like we need the whole rib cage.
Well, let's go with the leg first.
Legs it is. Tyrell,
Alright.
if you would do the honors of unlocking it.
Oh, does this have a lock on it?
It does indeed have a lock. Much like the one downstairs. It has the words master
forget.
written right on it.
I forget how many lockpick uses I get.
Christian, can I stab the head in the cage as it is?
Yeah.
Without hitting the thigh?
They're big gaps, yeah.
Yeah, I want to try to do that.
Go ahead
Do we
and
turn to Nick
go
and
ahead and give
see
me
if that's a good idea? Okay.
give me a D20 roll.
Okay, and this is for...
Attack.
I guess attack. I got a total of 25.
Yeah. You skewer it right through in the middle of the eyes, and you're like holding the head and the dangling leg in the air while it's still in the cage.
Tyrell, now it's your turn.
Is it still
I
blue?
believe that
The leg is still blue. The head was never
Okay.
blue.
Well, right.
I
But it just
trust
was a
you with
face.
your new
Okay.
duster skills.
Alright. So, dex check.
Are you going to reach through the cage to cut off, or are you going to open the cage and then cut it off?
Oh.
It's up to you. I'm just asking.
Does anybody have, some delicate tools? I have my...
Didn't you
dagger.
just unlock a thing?
No, I haven't unlocked it yet.
I just have my sword. You should try to unlock it, Tyrell. If not, then we can try to carve it out.
I'm gonna do unlock first. Or attempt.
All right, Detective Easter, you're going to have to kind of release the skewered head in order to make room for him to sort of get in to pick this lock.
Yeah, I pull it back out, using the cage to kind of, balance and be able to, pull the
Yeah, you do it
the
delicately.
bit of my
and-
sword out, and I'm going to try to wipe my sword at the foot of Tyrell's duster.
Tyrell, do you make any move to avoid this?
No, it's
Oh, okay.
not cool, but give a disapproving look.
All right.
I didn't think you would see me, so I was not stealth enough.
Just in case, I don't know, if you guys ever cooked frog legs, after they've been alive, they'll still kick around a bunch. So I don't know. Maybe if I can get a couple people over here to be prepped in
I'm
case it
very
starts
quick.
jumping.
I will catch it.
Maybe like
I will
another
jump
person.
onto it if I have to.
Maybe like, because there's a big like hole there, and then it might be a pain to go track it down. Maybe someone over here.
I will jump down the hole.
Any other volunteers?
Nick steps up, says, I got you, homie.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Going for the lockpick, y'all.
Give me that sleight of hand roll.
That is 17.
All right, you pick the lock. You sort of get a little bit better at picking these master locks. You're starting to get the, like they appear to be all the same combination potentially. You're 2 for 2.
Oh, did I just put in a code? Is it just?
Well, I mean, you know, he
000?
wouldn't have a billion different locks for. I mean, he'd just have the same locks, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right, leg, come on out.
All right, so the leg does not move. It's just sort of leaning up against the inside of the cage there with the bleeding head above it that had just been skewered.
Very well, Nick. Your honors are yours.
So you sort of step back, and Nick approaches, and you see him pull out a dirk and very carefully cut the stitches, sewing the head to the leg. And he sort of says, this might take a minute if you want to go deal with the other one.
Yeah. Also, now I want to go talk to Stony, like maybe quietly.
Sure.
Okay. Hey, maybe you were on to something, because now I'm. Why does he know how to do this?
I don't know. I mean, my intention's pretty clear.
So should we have a plan B just in case we need to like jump this guy? Like we could take him, right? Like I look over at Tug, like we could take him, right? Yeah, we can. That's good. All right.
Me or Tug? You look at Tug.
He's looking at you,
I mean-
Stoney.
I mean, I don't see any reason why we need to trust him.
I'm kind of starting to not. I mean, I didn't really have a whole lot of faith in him either, but yeah, he might start being suspicious of us whispering over here. So I think we're good. Just be aware.
Well, I mean, I still have
I
this
think,
goal.
guys, that we should just leave and forget everything about this tower and just leave. Why piece together a Frankenstein monster?
So we can bring it back to the guy on the dock because it's probably his dead lost lover.
Yeah, I'm sure he has lots of gold to give us.
Okay.
There's no way he's not.
Just playing devil's advocate here.
Christian, I'm gonna kind of look down in disapproval because I think that they're talking about me in secret again.
You do exactly that. Nick is still hard at work at cutting off the stitches here.
I remember the last time the Zoo Warriors were talking about me in secret, they were quite upset, and I thought I had mended some of those bridges. I know some of them are burned forever, but I've been trying to mend some bridges there, assuming that they're talking ill of me.
But Tyrell, in your sort of close proximity to the other cage, you do see the strange spider torso rib cage thing still scuttling around inside the cage.
Yeah, anybody know how to freeze a spider so we could get what we need off of that? I don't know. What do we think?
Tyrell, could we use your rope to tie it up and then destroy whatever parts are not a part of the rib cage?
Guys, do we even need magic? Can we just use the rope? Like, do we need any other skills? I'm gonna donate my dagger because I don't use it.
Hey, Easter, can you shock the spider thing with your stick?
What? I could try. You want me to try a stunning strike on it? One of my martial art moves. Is that what you're asking? Or are you wanting me to use my taser?
Either one. I think they both pretty do similar things.
Okay. Yep. I can try to. So Christian, can you tell me which part of this is not glowing again? That would be open for an attack.
Yeah. So the torso, the arms sort of offshooting from it, all 6 of them. The only part that appears to be glowing are like these rib cage that's protruding from the back of the torso, almost like a maw or something.
Okay, I'm gonna reach in there and I'm gonna grab my handcuffs with my other hand and try to handcuff one of the arms to the side of the cage so I can hold it at least still. To if I need to hit it with a stunning strike, it'll be a lot easier.
All right. You reach in there, and it's kind of similar to like one of those money grab like air booth things. As you like put your hand in there, it's hard to really grab one, but you finally find some purchase, and you grab a wrist and handcuff it to the cage, and you can see it's starting to like struggle against that one arm being confined, but it's not quite as squirrely. I mean, it's in a panic now that it's been confined, but it's kind of stuck, right?
Okay. Well, I'm going to slowly just stick my sword into the hand and use a key point to create a stunning strike.
All right. You have it sort of grappled, so there's no need for a roll there. And you see, as it was sort of like stretching back and pulling itself to the top of the cage to avoid you as much as possible, you immediately stun it. You see its like arms kind of go rigid, and it just slumps to the bottom of the cage.
Now is the chance, Tyrell. Open the cage so we can do what we need.
Oh, is there another lock?
There is, but you have a sneaking suspicion that you know the combination. You approach, do the same combination.
The same as my luggage.
And sure enough, the lock comes loose.
1, 2, 3,
4, 5.
But yes, you knock the pins in the tumblers, and next thing you know, the lock is in your hand. You open the cage. Detective Easter, you sort of pull out the strange torso with its limp arms. What do you guys want to do here?
Yeah, we don't have much time.
I'm going to cut off one of the arms that's not chained.
All right.
I'll tie up another arm with the
Quick.
rope.
All right.
Stony, Tug, help us defeat this little creature here.
So one arm's locked to the cage, the other one's subdued by Tyrell's rope, the other one's just been cut off by Detective Easter. That only leaves 3 free arms.
Stony, Blib, Sailor Sun, will you help us secure these arms? Either take them off or make sure that they do not move so we can remove this rib cage.
Can I pinch one of the arms off with my lobster claw?
You can
Oh
indeed.
my God.
It's kind of a gruesome and like it's like the corpse is still active, right? Like the muscles are like tensing and stuff, but it's like crunching a rotting corpse. Have
we seen Tug take anybody's limb off with his claw yet?
You have not, no.
Oh man, that's great. That's some crazy stuff.
You got it right at the joint though, so you didn't have to go through bone, but you pinched off right in a joint, so you took it off. It's a really putrid smell that comes out of it.
I just turn to Detective Easter and I smile and I hold my other hand out like, yeah? Huh? Yeah? Huh?
I am impressed. I give him a nod back of approval.
You can see, Detective Easter, beyond even your stunning strike, this thing is dead. It's not responsive anymore. Like, it was stunned, but all the tense, like, muscle contractions caused from your stunning, it's over. You've removed enough of its limbs that
major arteries.
It's died. I'm assuming right here that Flip to pull up had the final blow. Like that claw just destroyed whatever was left. So I was like, oh, that killed body and soul there.
Killed soul?
No, not soul.
I mean,
That's what I was thinking too.
take me out, I guess.
Um,
Some
I will
ogre
come back as a
jelly.
spirit and haunt you till the day that you die.
Nick, we have the rib cage ready for you.
Nick says, "Good. I've already finished with the other one." And you see
Already?
him-
That took a bit of time, I say to myself.
and he puts the leg into his bag. He says, "What do we have here? Interesting." He says, "All right, give me a moment. Feel free to search the rest of the room." And he sort of bends down with his dirk and goes to town.
This is a question to the DM. Can I do something sneaky?
Sure.
No.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion of I don't know who has the lantern actually, so they need to do something sneaky.
I do.
Okay.
So I took
I
the
can't say
lantern.
this out loud.
I'll hand it. I'll hand the lantern back to you.
Oh, okay. I just want to put the lantern. I want to like be behind Nick while he's doing this and like put it up to his head because I have a weird feeling about him right now.
Okay. Yeah. You put the lantern up to his head behind him, and the light. You're careful not to cast it over his shoulder because you don't want it to show on what he's doing. But nothing appears to be out of the ordinary. I mean, you shine it at his head and sort of his back, and it's just Nick as you see him in everyday plain light. It looks the same as when you showed it at Sailor Sun.
Yeah. Well, I did it at him earlier, but he just seems different now.
Maybe, you're picking up on something, but visually with the blue flame, there's nothing that's being revealed to you.
Okay, and I want to visualize in my head smashing the lantern on his head. I don't do it, but just thinking about it. All right.
Sure.
What's next?
You see above you, floating in the middle of the room, still the spectral image, now more illuminated by the other pieces that you've collected. You could see that she's starting to become more of her human figure, like where her head before was just a skull with empty sockets. She now has one eye, and a lot of her beauty is starting to return to her. There's still parts missing. Some parts are still a decayed corpse in the spectral visage, but you see that she's starting to amass her original looks.
I'm gonna
Maybe
grab
it's
that
Maybelline.
torch off the wall.
Okay, yeah, you grab the torch off the wall.
I'm just gonna carry it for now.
Nick says, I could really use some light though. Don't take away my only light source, please.
I'll hold it closer to him.
Okay,
But I'm just gonna carry it for now.
sure.
Say their soul could walk over there.
Nick sort of says, well, you see her up there just as plain as day as I do. Means there's probably something still in this room. What haven't we looked at yet? As he's still carving around the rib cage.
I suppose this other ruffian.
You notice that this person doesn't have any clothes, so you don't know if he's technically considered a ruffian or not, but maybe some part of him somewhere, some limb was at one point in its life a ruffian.
I could see it. We hold the lantern up to it.
All right.
Him?
It's
Question mark?
a big amalgamation. It was big enough to take up more than the oversized sort of lift or the platform that they were doing the experiments on. But you shine it, and there's like a faint glow from within. Like I think it was Stony that diced up this corpse. But this thing is such a huge like flesh golem that you get the sense that there's a pale blue light coming from inside the flesh golem, but you're gonna have to really like rip and tear into this thing to get down to what's in there.
Yeah, Stony, I think you got to finish what you started.
So there's two.
I'll hold the light for you.
There's two chunks that it's mainly coming from. There appears to be a pale glow from the torso that was left behind, and there appears to be a pale glow from within one of the arms, like the right forearm that you've cleaved off.
Can I just like shove my claw into it and start trying to cut it open into the torso?
Yeah, you sort of like a surgeon, like cutting off someone's clothes, like down the shirt, right? And you just use your claw and you sort of incise open the arm, and within the arm, what looks to be like a bone is in fact full on leg, like bone, like a femur and a shin, like the entire knee from hip to ankle, and it is glowing bright blue in the lantern that's being shown on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
All right.
And then I guess I'm gonna turn towards the torso.
You turn towards the torso, and yeah, you see that same pale blue sort of emanating from inside of it, but it's not bright yet.
Stony, are you you wanted to get some of this action, or?
Yeah, and pull out the shark tooth dagger and just start skillfully carving away.
Yeah, you sort of cut it little bits at a time, just making sure that you're not overcutting and cutting into something. And as you sort of continually cut deeper and peel back the layers of this torso through every manner of guts and organs and hearts, you finally come to the back of it, and you see the spinal column glow bright blue.
Is it free enough that I can reach in and pull it right out and look really cool when I do it?
You may have to make some cuts on the sides to make sure that any of the nerves that have been attached to it are severed, but for the most part, it appears to be a fully intact spinal column. Yes.
Right. I want to make those skillful cuts.
Sure
just
thing.
Pull it out.
You reach your hand in, and much like Mortal Kombat, you rip the spinal column out and hold it up and display for everyone around you.
All right.
Gruesome.
Hand it over to the collection pot, Nick.
All right.
I don't see him on the.
He's just finished up the rib cage, and he sort of steps onto the thing and comes over and takes the spinal column from you and sort of drops it down into his bag, kind of like Mary Poppins. And Tyrell, your thoughts of his bag of holding are confirmed.
That was just too many body parts.
Yes. It's a rather small bag, but it contains a great deal of things.
Did I see the G and C on it?
No.
And not the vitamin store.
No.
G and C. Gucci. Okay. Well, how's the spectral look?
She is still in the room.
Uh-huh.
So far, you've
Is there
pointed
anything
it
underneath the table?
at the cages and the flesh golem. Detective Easter, you voice your thing to the rest of the crew about it being under the table. Tyrell, you sort of shine the light down there, and sure enough, what do you find? What appears to be a pelvis bone.
Okay. I'm glad it wasn't just like, oh, you find the full body of the girl.
Nope.
Like,
You find a glowing blue pelvis
why did
bone.
we grab all this? Okay.
The spectral form dissipates from the air above you.
Oh. Come back.
The room is silent. There's no reappearing.
Okay, if we put the light up to the other all the parts now, are they still blue?
You shine the light around the room, all the cages, all the body parts of the flesh golem again once before the sort of lift, and there is nothing left. that
Well, like the
glows
ones
blue.
we've collected.
Oh, the ones you've collected? Yeah, Nick puts them on display, and they do show blue. And
Oh, okay.
and the leg that Tug found is still in his possession. It glows blue as well.
So we have
Should
two
we
options
continue
here.
to
We
the top
could,
floor?
well, we can bury these like I think I heard we're supposed to do to like ease this at rest, or we could try to reanimate it.
We should not try to reanimate. We should put the
The
spirit
instructions. All right, guys, what should we do?
I am not okay with the reanimation.
Hey, the guy on the docks, he probably would really love to see his old maid again, right?
I think we know what we're supposed to do. We need to find all the parts and bury them and lay them to rest.
Yeah, that seems like the major moment. Tyrell, why are you being so weird about this? May I ask?
I mean, this seems like a cool thing to do.
I think obviously Tyrell's gone crazy and we have to kill him.
And I slick my hair back.
I believe the duster is going to his head.
He can't handle the duster, is what's happening.
Hey, do I need to pat you down?
You don't need to.
I realize I definitely missed my chance to do ocular pat downs
ocularly
with Nick
patted
this
him
whole
down
time.
already.
Stony, you've been very quiet. What are your thoughts?
Where's the? Did we see the specter thing?
The specter has left the room.
It actually, it left the Discord.
Did someone leave the Discord?
No, the spectral.
Oh. She was in here the whole time?
Can I go walk out on the balcony and look to see if I can see her like floating around in the graveyard or whatnot?
You're saying up on the floor above you?
Oh, we still got one more floor?
Yeah.
We still have another floor.
Oh, we do. I see now. Yeah, we're not on the top. Yeah, we need to. We need to go on up, guys.
All right.
Let us.
The staircase
carry
is
on.
broken, but you have made your way up there before. Drop you guys.
Yep, cutscene.
Yes.
Moving on.
Fade to black.
Act 4.
Fade in from black.
It was a cold and dreary night.
There it is.
When we find our heroes.
Beep, boop. All right.
This is a cramped space here, huh? Do you have
It
to
is.
do limbo?
You do. You
Tug?
had to duck under pipes and such in order to go across the room. The spectral figure does not appear in this room.
Yep.
There's another
Mush.
boom of thunder outside, and what sounds like obviously a crack of lightning as the hard rain sort of, you can hear it hitting the top floor above you. So you know if you go up to the final floor, you are going to be in the rain, and it is a thunderstorm out there.
I'd like to put on my cloak.
All right, you do so.
I'd like to flip up my collar.
You pop your collar.
I'm just gonna be doing duster
You
stuff all the time.
you don't get
No,
another charisma, but yeah, that 1+1 charisma feels like a really strong one now. It's like, yeah,
I mean, I was at basically nothing before. So
like
that
you had
says
it
a
you
lot.
had it written down, but now it's like like you went over that 1 again with your pencil, right? Like it's a 1.
It's 11. Oh yeah.
Can I go look at the balcony now?
If you want to go up to the next floor, sure. Is everybody going
No.
up to the next floor?
Yeah.
I'll go to the next floor, but I'm not gonna ride the metal bit.
That was on the floor below, so those were the connecting
Gotcha,
floors
okay.
below. This one
So
is just a staircase.
This is the floor I've been trying to get to.
Uh-oh.
Okie dokie.
I really wish we could have some atmospheric thunderstorm. Would be really nice, but Josh is
It would deafen Josh.
headphones.
I want to
thanks.
just in self-preservation, just kind of move away from anything that looks conductive of electricity.
Yes, you very smartly move
don't even
yourself
have
away
boots.
from any of those contraptions that line the building. Yes, you guys are actually under the awning at the moment, so you're not getting rained on per se, but the rain is whipping around in the wind, and it does sometimes blow in from the side and maybe mist you guys a bit. But you're up on the top, you're outside, same lever you've seen before, the same contraption that seems to appear to, focus lightning is out there, but inactive with the coils and the bolts. But what do you guys want to see? You see the same, broken shards, the same blue glow from the light within.
Do we see the spirit hovering out anywhere?
You do see the spirit hovering sort of within the lantern. Her blue glow and presence is a more wholesome figure now, and she appears to be awaiting with her hands crossed once more.
Out where? We see her above the lantern right there?
Yes.
Then I walk up to the big thing.
Sure thing. You peer inside and you see a pile of bones, and in that pile of bones you see a right sort of like where the bicep would be, and then a complete left arm aside from the hand.
Okay. And it's all glowing?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm gonna take it.
You pick those things up and put them into your position. The spectral figure before you disappears and is no longer in the lighthouse.
Can I peer out over some of the edges and see if maybe it's in the courtyard at all?
Sure.
Yeah.
You peer out. You make sure to stay away from the sort of contraption. As you peer out over the front, you see what appears to be from even the glow of the lighthouse. The lighthouse seems to amplify the range of this blue, right? Like everything outside is kind of cast in a dull hue of its light, much like the lantern, and you can see it down there. It's like a pinpoint of light, and sometimes it goes away and sometimes it shows up. It's hard to tell through the storm, but it looks as if it's moving. You see, as you look closer, the spectral form, which appears to be hovering above the sort of small pinpoint of light as it's moving along. And you can tell now that as this specter is moving, whatever it's moving, it is following this pinpoint of light down below.
Like a cat.
I will beckon the rest of the group to see what I saw.
Detective Easter, you, with your detective skills and passive perception, recall that just before the visage dissipated, it was still missing one eye.
Oh, God damn it. Was this over by that tree where we trapped the brown-eyed girl?
It was over by the tree and it was moving away from said tree.
I believe that the final bit here might be a missing eye of the brown-eyed girl. We'll have to go down and recover it.
Can I just take a running leap right off
Yep.
of this thing?
Oh no! Oh, you have slow fall. Never mind.
The yep was too fast.
I was just thinking, oh my god, suicide. There's fall damage.
Kobe! Oh no!
You have feather fall?
He
I
does.
thought Tug just did the aim for the bushes routine.
All you guys are going to hear is last one to the bottom's a bitch.
Even over the thunderstorm, the crackle of lightning in the distance, you do hear the fading voice of Tug as she safely descends to the ground.
I mean, I
I
had
know,
some.
so I'm gonna run.
I'm going to float
Let's go.
my way over to I'm trying to move towards the blue dot.
Sure. So you're sort of falling at the moment. We'll say you're about halfway down. Say status. Oh wait, no. Where is flying? Did I just completely miss that? There we go. All right. Yeah, you're floating. You're sort of like drifting. Think like Breath of the Wild, right? Like you're down there, like slowly gliding down, trying to land right on top of this thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're approaching, and it is sort of moving as well, sort of away from you. It appears as if it's broken free from its bonds that you had it in. But the rest of you, I assume, are making your way down the tower.
Take a good hard long look at this potion of flying.
How far is that tower? How far up do you think it is, Christian?
The tower, just based on the gnomes alone here, you're sitting at about like 75 gnomes up from the ground.
And how does fall damage work?
I mean, it grows exponentially with the height. So it'll hurt.
Well,
At this height, I can tell you it wouldn't be survivable unless you had some hella luck.
Yeah, we seem to kill everything coming up, so I'm just gonna do a quick jaunt down.
So it's 1d6 for every 10 feet. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
For just falling?
For falling, yeah.
Just like you're just gonna hit the ground and hope for the best?
I mean, I'm not. But
And
it sounds
gnomes are 3 feet. So one gnome, one unit of measurement, one gnome is 3 feet.
Yeah. You know what? I ain't no bitch. I'm gonna jump down and use my monk slow fall.
Or just use your thing.
Nah, it's okay. I don't want to use my ability to fly.
Are you going to try and drift towards the figure as well?
I don't think I'll be able to drift. I can just
Slow fall.
It is slow fall, and so I will actually you'll have to roll, Christian.
Gotcha.
For damage.
So let's
I'll
see.
probably take some damage. It's gonna be it's a total of 7d6.
7d6. All right.
And then whatever it is, I take away 28 damage. Just automatically from my minus of the slow fall here.
13.
How far is the drop?
Damn, look how low those rolls were. Are you kidding me?
I know. So I get down to the. Do I get down to the bottom first?
You beat Tug down to the bottom, and on the way past, you have a chance to say something to him.
Ain't no bitch.
Oh my god.
How far is the bottom?
75 gnomes.
Can I?
Is that like roughly like 90 feet?
I think 75 times 3.
Oh shit! Never mind.
I'm gonna grab onto him when he comes flying by.
I believe you're caught unawares.
I was gonna say, you didn't expect anyone else to, but you can. I'll let you take a reactionary roll to see if you manage to grasp onto him.
I really don't care. It's fine.
I just don't like that you're actually like just floating through the sky like a flower just down the.
You didn't say
last.
the first one. You just said the last one down. So I mean, you're still not last Tug, but
Exactly. That's what I'm enjoying my my fall, so he can plummet like a rock.
I plummeted
Well,
gracefully.
yeah,
Thank you very much.
We'll say you didn't drift as far since yours was more of a plummet, and you sort of land in a hero pose and crater into the deck. You're in sort of up to your waist in the deck, and you sort of have to break the rubble away after landing.
I was waiting to use that ability. I thought this would be a good time to try it out.
Anybody else have any suicidal tendencies or abilities?
Yeah, I've got a spell. I would hope it worked. If it doesn't, then I'd probably die, I guess. But depends on how well you want me to use it, I guess.
I just like the idea that you're going to throw yourself off and hopefully the spell works.
You're like, it could work, it could not. I'm going for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do a huge gainer off the deck.
Okay.
When I get about 15 feet from the bottom, I'm gonna use gust of wind.
Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. It's dexterity.
Yeah, 18.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good gainer. You're not used to doing it from these heights, but you start to make your way down. You said 15 feet from the bottom?
Yep. So the spell, it's 60 foot long, 10 foot wide, and each creature in the line of that gets pushed 15 feet. So using it backwards, if I'm 15 feet from the ground, hopefully it'll just stall me at 15 feet, and then I can just drop 15 feet.
Gotcha. You're not casting it on any target or anything, just on the ground. So, I would say this is like under stress or duress, though. So just go ahead and give me like a ranged spell attack, essentially on the ground beneath you. Just a d20 roll.
Yeah, 15.
All right. Yeah, you succeed. You cast this thing. It's a little bit not as like finessed as you want it to be. Like it kind of, instead of just shooting you straight back up because it's coming out of your hand, it sort of sends you into more of like a spiral, right? And the spiral does send you back up, but you kind of like bump into the building, right? And you sort of start to slide down the vines that are there, and you're sort of like grabbing at the vines to like slow your fall, and you sort of stumble and like hit to the ground and sort of move forward on a bit of a run, and you sort of run up to where Detective Easter is embedded in the deck, but you managed to land safely.
Oh, well, hey, if he can do that, I'm not gonna walk down. Can I also jump?
If you'd like.
We're just
I'm gonna jump. And about 70
Crazy.
feet from the ground, I'm gonna use Thunder Step so no one gets hurt, and I'm gonna teleport instantly back onto the ground.
Okay. All right.
Literally takes nothing, just no one be around me.
Where are you teleporting onto the ground, I guess? Just off, out of the way?
I guess just right next to Stony, since we're the only ones who will not be cratered in.
Okay.
When he reappears, can I flinch a little bit? Because the last time he did that, I got fucking obliterated.
Yes, you kind of let out a high squeal like, like,
It's such a destructive spell to everybody else.
But don't worry, that's why I did it 70 feet up, so no one feels the effects. Hello.
So
Let's see,
I'm the last one up here with Nick.
Who's the bitch, Tyrell or Nick? Let's find out.
Everyone, Tyrell's like, let's do this.
Nick's about to push him off.
Nick, this is horseshit. No, I look at Nick like, well, buddy, I guess we better get headed down the stairs.
Nick says, I ain't no bitch. And he steps over the edge.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm frantically looking for a spider.
Through the rainstorm, the spiders seem to be have crawled into their crevices. They're nowhere
It
to
can
be
even
found.
be a dead spider. I don't think it needs to be alive. I just need a spider. Can I
Give me a
walk it a little
perception
bit?
check. Give me a perception check.
Looking like a real bitch, Tyrell.
Is he dead?
Use your rope.
Yeah.
So
It's not long enough.
the rest
And
of
swing
you,
yourself like Indiana Jones at the end.
Tug, you're finally on the ground with the rest of them. You guys, as you're looking up to see who else is joining you, you also see Nick sort of floating down to the bottom very gracefully with both of his hands sort of not quite outstretched, but just off of his hips as he floats down to the ground.
Wait, I want to know what Tug's internal thought is. Is it like, why did these guys jump after me? Or are you thinking I'm such a leader that they'll do whatever I do?
Oh no, see that's what I was afraid. Do you actually have a spell that's gonna turn one of us into a rotten egg?
This is the egg drop. This is the science experiment. This is the...
Oh man.
Last one's there is a rotten egg.
Did you give me a roll on what you got for perception?
14.
You do not find any spiders. I'm sorry.
He just jumped.
Just go for it.
Everyone down here says that you can't do it because you're a little bitch.
You cannot hear them, Tyrell. They're way too far down there, and it is a thunderstorm.
Can I cast my spell with thundering voice? And
Sure.
This is bullshit. This is
You're a
not.
bitch!
This
Yeah,
is
this
not
is
worth it, but
hilarious.
it's all getting to me, so I'm literally gonna waste my potion of flying just so I can get down there.
You're such a bitch.
So you do hear this through the thunderstorm. It's almost as if it is the thunderstorm calling you a bitch.
Yeah, I can't have that. Not with the duster. So
Okay.
I'm taking my potion of flying, the most dumb use for it possible. Here we go.
All right. So, yeah, you down. You just take the potion like a shot, and you feel as light as a feather. You feel as if your arms have become wings. You don't have to use them in that fashion, but it's almost like Superman. You just sort of use them to guide you where you want to go. So you sort of step out over the ledge, and you put your hands up to sort of test it. And you can see that you're like flying, like it's kind of super cool. You're not falling. You're not even falling with style. You're flying.
Yeah, I'm actually flying, and I can fly for an hour. I'm getting to this thing before everybody. Let's go.
All right, you sort of in your new confidence look at where the little dot of light is, and you put your hands forward as you swoosh down to the ground level and fly forward right above this creature. You can see you're coming in hot right behind it. I'm going to give you a chance to, like, Superman tackle grapple this thing.
Oh god, is it gonna be a strength check?
It is going to be a strength check, yes.
This is gonna be so dumb.
You don't have to grapple it if you don't want. I'm just merely
No,
giving
I'll
you
try.
the option. Okay.
Gonna be an 8.
All right, you sort of hit it, but it's more of like you ended up realizing you weren't going to be able to get a good grip on it at the speed you were going. So you sort of like more like put your feet down and pushed off of it, and you sort of pushed it into the sand, and you see it like on all fours sort of like shake its butt off, and its cheeks are now sandy, and it sort of turns around and it looks up at you, and you can see in the glow of the lantern pointing down at this eye in the anus creature. The eye is glowing bright blue.
Here it is, guys.
So you sort of stay flying in the air after springing off of this thing.
Yeah.
Just to describe, Tug, when you landed right next to the black cat that was around here, and it like screams and hisses and runs off. around the building. Sailor Sun, you yes, like disappear halfway down and then boom, like appear next to Stony as he lets out a bit of a squeal after a bit of a crazy landing, a crazy chain of events that led him to the bottom. Kind of a risky one, but he made it. Detective Easter just brute forcing it like Tundrako would be known to do. And Nick finally comes floating to the ground very gracefully, sort of with his feet pointed at the ground. One touches and then the other, and he sort of looses his hands as he sort of steps forward and joins the group. Says, all right, I think we know what we need to chase.
Badass.
Yeah, I'm try to sprint towards it, I guess.
All right.
Yep. Take off.
I need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, not too bad.
Oh, natural 20.
Oh, that's better than what I got.
Okay,
Waste
starting from the... I'll roll for Nick first before I forget. Look at that. Sticking with the bad rolls.
I knew 100% Christian you're gonna have like a little spell up Nick's sleeve to jump down there, so as everyone else is doing it.
Nick's rich, man. He's got money. He's got feather falling.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
It's
I don't have
fantastic.
shoes.
Starting at 20 is Stony. 19,
Tyrell.
18, 17, 16.
Detective Easter.
Soul, did I hear you in there?
Yep.
Oh, I thought you like stubbed your toe.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11.
Yep.
I think that's everybody, right? Yep. Okay, dokie. Stony, you're up
Okay.
first. What you want to do?
Can I see the creature yet?
You know relatively where it's at because you can see above the spectral form of Quinn floating above it. It is a rain, like, downpour, torrential downpour, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can, you have an approximation.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna take off down there.
All right. Your one action gets you about halfway. You can see a little bit better, but it appears as if it's maybe, I guess you can't say backside because it would be facing away from you, but its eye is facing the other direction. It's trying to get away from you, so you can't see the glow of the blue eye, but again, the spectral form is right above where you assume it to be. You can see Tyrell from this distance, though, flying in the air.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep moving forward.
All right. You get right up until, like, almost arm's length within the creature. I realized I didn't roll for the creature. I rolled for Nick. 16. Tyrell, what did you get? You got 19?
Mm-hmm.
Detective Easter, what did you get?
Soul and I both got 16.
16? Okay. So the creature will go last then.
So it's right in front of me.
Game Master, Detective Easter, and I both got 16.
All
You
right.
say it's right in front of me.
It's just out of arm's length. Your 2 movement is enough to get you just out of arm's length. It is right in front of you, though. You can see it now with your own eyes.
Can I use a spell or anything?
You've used your 2 actions to move. You could use like a minor action or something, but a spell would be one of your actions unless you have like an action surge or something.
I do. How do we decide on what we're doing with the 3 movements, 3 attacks, stuff like that?
So like the way we've always done it, the house rule, which is going to change after we leave the island, but right now, like, if you have 2 actions, you can use them for both attack or both movement. But if you have like an actual multi-attack, that still has to be initiated within one of those actions. See what I'm saying? Like if you choose to attack, the multi-attack activates on that, and you do it twice. But if he's like out of range kind of thing, you've used 2 actions, I think you might be maxed.
And you say he's trying to run away from us?
He's trying to run away, yes. He's currently headed towards the edge of the island. You're not sure where, or maybe it doesn't even know, but it's just trying to get away from you. It just got kicked and like semi-grappled by Tyrell, who's flying up above it. So it's just in a panic right now, trying to scurry away.
Okay, how far did you say he was from us?
From you?
Oh, not that far. Okay,
Just
yeah.
out of arm's
All right.
arm's length.
Yeah, I'm gonna use action surge, and I'm gonna use a spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna use snare. So I'm gonna pull out a circle rope that I have
Mm-hmm.
and toss it in front of him.
You're not the... Tyrell's not the only one with the rope! Is there a
There's
check?
only one rope.
Is there a check or something that has to succeed? So this was a pre-made snare
Yep.
that you had in your pocket?
Yeah. So they have to roll a DC 13 investigation
Investigation. Okay.
for it to be found.
17.
It was pretty obvious you threw it at him.
So as you throw the snare in front of it, sort of a last-ditch effort, you see it almost put its hand down and then just put it up as it sort of moves past it. And we'll move on to Detective Eastern Soul. Do you care who goes first? It's up to you guys.
I don't.
Was Tyrell? Tyrell was
Yeah,
looking
I don't.
Or sorry, Tyrell. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna
No,
go to
no,
sleep.
no.
It's really nice up here.
You're up.
Sorry, Stony, you got there really fast. You're gonna be affected by this if I cast it. But I want to do Fairy Fire because it will not only give us, if it's successful, give us advantage on attacks, but it will also outline it in a dim light, so that we can see it if it gets away. So I'm gonna try to cast Fairy Fire.
All right. Go ahead and give me a ranged spell attack roll.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be 22.
All right, it lands.
Okay, so
I
each
think I can highlight these. Go on.
any creature in a 20-foot cube. So it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna involve Stony too.
We'll just make it a torch. That way you guys can always see it. That counts. Right?
Outlined in the glowing light for this case, yes. It has to do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. What's the check?
Well, I'm 18 without my dexterity additive of 2.
I just like to know what the check is before I roll.
It doesn't tell me.
I feel like it matters. You just build one then.
Well, how about 22?
Okay.
No,
Within reason.
it's the 8 plus my thing, so it's
Uh-huh.
11 then.
Okay. 15.
Okay, stop.
I got all my bad rolls out of the way, I guess.
For my other, so I can have like a minor action to move and one last major action to do something with my rope.
Yes. Yeah, you only used one action so far.
I'm gonna try to.
You still got it with the fairy fire, though, right? I mean, it just...
I don't think so. No, if you had to fail that to get outlined, so actually you're not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Then it's still in the dark.
And you're not affected with the attacks, yeah, so nothing happens. That's super fun. Thanks. Yeah. No.
It was a good play, though. It just didn't land. Through the thunderstorm and everything, you know. I mean, it's a tough shot.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with Old Faithful because why do I even do anything else? I'm gonna just kind of use a little bit to get right in front of it, as I guess as far as I can go feasibly with my minor movement.
Movement will be an action.
Then don't do that. All I'm trying to do is maybe lay a rope to trip on.
I mean, your rope is well within distance to try and ensnare it. Like, your rope is pretty long, so...
Yeah. I mean, okay.
You don't have to move.
I guess
in
it
order to-
can rope itself around the thing, right?
Yes.
I'll just try that.
Okay. Go ahead and give me like a grapple strength, but you get advantage with your magic rope.
Oh, that's pretty nice. I already blew all my good rolls though. One will be. That's an at 20 on the second one though.
Damn. All right. Well, it's gonna do its best to resist, but 7 is not gonna do it. So your rope wraps. Where are you having the rope wrap around and grapple?
Shoulders.
Shoulders.
Is that actually gonna be the femur? and
That's
thigh
why
bones?
I'm asking. Are you wrapping it around its shoulders? Or are you wrapping it around its bottom, like its hips?
Its eye is in the butthole, right?
Yes.
I don't want to harm the eye. So I guess around like a torso midsection.
Okay. Sure. You wrap it around, and it immediately starts to like kind of pull you towards it. Like it's digging into the sand and kicking up sand onto Stony behind it as it's trying to get away. And your newfound flight is a little strange. You're kind of getting pulled with it, but you can also kind of resist and pull back, right? So you've got it. You're kind of in a tug of war at the moment, but it's kind of freaking out. So
It's a weird scene. I like it. Let's go.
I believe Detective Easter Soul. Did you guys figure out which one was gonna go first?
Soul did the awesome thunderclap, so she should go first.
All right, Soul. You're just shy of 2 movements away from the creature that's ensnared. Unless you got some other fancy mobility or spells or something up your sleeve, what you gonna do?
I have everything in my sleeve, but I think what I will just do is just walk closer to it.
You very calmly walk, not run. You're not going to run.
Yeah, I have every trust in my
Okay.
in my
All right.
teammates.
So I'm gonna place your token here, but just for clarity, this is all happening within the same 30 seconds. So you are going to walk that distance in 30 seconds instead of run it. So while everything is going on around you, you're just in like some sort of slow-mo movie action scene where everything's happening around you, and you're just like walking with the explosion behind you, so to speak.
Call it power walk.
Detective Easter, you're up.
Awesome. I'm going to use the dash action to double my speed, which is going to be 90 feet, and I'm going to tackle this bitch.
All right.
No power walk.
It's already no power walk. It's already ensnared, so you sort of
Boom! I'm hitting it like a fucking truck. I'm the size of JJ Watt. Let's go.
you freaking tackle this thing to the ground. How are you grappling this exactly? Like, describe to me.
Just straight across the torso. I'm going in for a big,
Okay,
big
going
linebacker.
for
right
like a full Nelson though. Like, what's the play here?
there. Is its back or its front facing towards me?
So its butt is facing towards the ocean, and it's like back, like the actual back of the torso is on its top, right?
Great. So I'm going to grab it and try to drive it into the ground. So its butt and its eye would be in the sand, and then I'm hoping somebody else can pick up its legs and pluck the eye out of its butthole.
Sure. Yeah, you sort of force it down into the sand, and you see its like butt sort of wriggling around in the sand as you've like sort of cratered it into the sand. The rope is also keeping it. Tyrell, you feel a little bit more of a pull as Detective Easter like augers this thing into the sand.
What a play.
Am I the first to physically touch the creature?
Yes, I think actually.
I thought I
No, bitch.
pushed it, but also
You
it's just the last person.
you kicked off of it for sure.
Okay. Well, I still ain't no bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's
Dead.
it's butt down in the thing. It's not dead. I'm just showing that it's been knocked prone. If that concludes your turn, it's gonna be Tug's turn. Actually, no. Sorry, it's the eye creature. So the eye creature is gonna try and break free. It's gonna have to break free of 2 different checks here. I don't see that succeeding, but who knows? So my strength against your advantage, Tyrell. So go ahead and roll 2. Take the higher of the 2. All you're gonna have to beat is a 5. Makes sense though. I mean, it is.
Got a another net 20 with the advantage.
Okay, all right. So it fails that attempt. It is gonna
Just
try.
squeeze so tightly the eye pops out.
It is gonna try and break free of Detective Easter's tackle. If it can't make it out of the rope, it kind of kicked its feet at the rope, but it couldn't bend its feet well enough. So
Do I have advantage since it's tied up at the rope?
you just have your natural strength. But yeah, we'll say because it's tied up with the rope, you have advantage. I don't think you're gonna have trouble beating a 7 though.
Yeah, just barely. I tried an 8.
Okay, all right. So that was close. You a little slippery, but you managed to keep them in the sand. Tug, you're up.
I guess I just want to move. I'm out of the battle right now.
You are. You can make it up to. I mean, you're well, with your movement, where you were at. No, you can make it there.
Yeah,
Everybody
you're
else
close.
was up on the dock, so yeah, you floated down farther than other people, so you can make it in one movement. So you see
Tug,
before you.
Get its butthole.
Detective Easter has planted the ass into this thing into the sand, and it's just writhing around as Tyrell is sort of like Peter Pan up there pulling with the rope, trying to keep this thing subdued. What do you want to do? You got your one movement to get to it that you did, but you still have one action.
So, is the eye in the butthole or is it down in the dirt?
The eye is the anus, which is being put in the sand at the moment.
Then can I just
You could lift up the legs so the butthole will be exposed.
Okay, I'll lift up the legs and expose the butthole.
All right, so you sort of grab it by its ankles and you lift it up out of the sand, and now you and Detective Easter, you have it by its ankles, Detective Easter has it by its wrists, and this thing is writhing around, and you can see the butt cheeks sort of expanding and collapsing, like blinking, like winking, like an eye, right? And the sand is like sort of shaking off of it, and you're trying not to like get it in your eyes as this thing is like wriggling around in your hands. This nude...
I'll just close my inner lid.
Okay, perfect. Yes.
What a great time to have that to avoid sandy eyes.
Does anyone have any Visine?
We're back to the top then. Stony, you're up.
Stony, come pluck
You-
this eyeball.
You were the one who named it the brown eye girl. Come get it out of there.
No, I'm not touching the eyeball.
Come get this brown-eyed girl.
Come on, give it the shocker. Let's go.
No, I'm not doing it.
Come on. Do you want to switch me places?
It's buttholes in the ground.
No,
That butthole's up in the air now.
it's being
Oh.
yeah. Sorry, Nick's gonna move closer, but all Nick's gonna do is take his movement to get here. He just sort of shouts to the group, "Please be careful. We've come this far. Let's not screw it up now."
I swear to God.
Yeah, I know. I'm just a big nose ghost. I'm not gonna get near the eye. Butthole.
You bow out. You're
You're
done.
gonna have your nose goes.
I'm gonna move
Well,
forward and
come and make sure. Hold it down
Yeah.
just in case.
help hold it down, but I'm not gonna.
Where are you gonna grab it then? Because Tug has it by the ankles, and Detective Easter has it by the wrists. It's sort of
Just knee in the back of the shoulder blades, front shoulder blade.
Oh,
Head.
This is exactly how we do it on the Keepers of Justice. This is how we subdue victims in town.
They're still ahead. Yeah, so
Live PD. Let's go.
All right, police brutality. Here we go. No, Tyrell. Sorry, I keep wanting to skip you, Tyrell. I'm sorry.
Tyrell,
It's
get into
cool.
the butthole.
I don't know. Like, unless anybody thinks that me like trying to fly backwards a little bit to lift up a little bit was helpful, but I don't want to do too much.
It wasn't. Grab the asshole eye.
I can't come down. I'm high.
No, swoop in there. Just
No.
click.
Come on, swoop for the poop.
Just
No,
pluck
I'm
it
gonna.
out.
If I need to roll like continue hold, I'm just gonna stay here.
I love that now that we have it subdued, nobody wants to actually do the deed.
I can't go down. I'm floating. I can't.
All right, all right. Soul.
If somebody will just switch me. Stony,
Soul,
come here and hold
Guys,
the
Soul,
stick
go
back.
get that butthole.
Soul's up.
All right, I'm gonna power fist the shit out of that asshole.
All right.
Get it.
All right, so
You
you're,
got your
you're
hand
just
out and
reaching in with
Christian-
your
Christian,
hand
is
to
there a
grab
roll
this
for
thing.
power fist in a butthole?
I roll and completely miss the asshole.
So you're, when you say power fisting, you're going to just punch the anus, or are you going to try and pluck the eye out like Kill
No,
Bill
it's
or
gonna-
something?
It's gonna come out as a power fist. It's gonna go in as a tightly clutched but like eyeball shaped finger ring.
Okay, so you're going to Kill Bill this eyeball out of the anus and like.
I am.
Okay, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
Jesus.
I don't even know what to roll that for.
It's dexterity, so roll your d20
Okay,
and
got it.
add your dexterity modifier.
All right, dexterity. Okay.
That
You
one.
know, 13.
All right. You jam your hand in there and you rip it out and you sort of have it facing yourself and you slowly turn around to reveal to the group that you have the intact eyeball in your hand. You see,
Excited, I let go of the wrist
I'm gonna
and I
throw it
cheer with
everywhere.
both my hands up.
as you let go, it sort of like drops and starts to like grab the ground with its hands, trying to get away from you, Tug. Do you keep a hold of it, Tug? By the
What?
Do you keep a hold of it by the ankles?
I mean, no. If we got the eye, I'm gonna
Okay.
let go.
You release and it starts to run away off to the left. Tyrell, you can see that the rope is starting to become taut and it's gonna like yank you. Are you releasing it or are you holding on to it?
Yeah, I don't care where this guy goes.
All right.
Rope release.
You release it and it runs and you see it run into one of the signposts with a thud, and then it sort of stumbles and runs off and hits another signpost and stumbles and runs and goes over the cusp of the edge, and you no longer see it.
The brown-eyed girl has been saved.
You see the whole visage of the spectral form in all of her half-elven beauty finally come to fruition, come to full form, as you see her dissipate away and dissolve into the rain. You're all now left standing here with the victorious eyeball within Soul's hand, and you have collected all of the body parts of Quinn.
Can we cue the like Star Wars like celebration music?
Are we talking
Instead of a trophy, it's or a medal. We put the butthole eye on Soul's the other son.
I thought you were talking about like the Ewok celebration song.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I was thinking the medal ceremony.
But yes, I feel like this is perfect timing. I mean, 10:01. This is where we wrap up this session. But any thoughts on? Did you see it ever coming full circle back to the anus monster?
No.
I would ask, did you?
Doesn't
I thought it was
Doesn't-
funny that you guys called it the brown eye girl, because I was like, wow, this is really gonna be funny when we come back to this eventually.
I mean, doesn't it always come back to the anus monster?
I mean, what a perfect episode name.
Right, the
Anus
anus
monster.
monster. Yeah, I mean, we
I'm
even
the brown-eyed girl.
we even had poop themed questions at the start of it, so that was great. It's a very this is a shining beacon amongst all the episodes we've had. So good job,
Well,
guys.
I'm glad that we actually progressed and have to make you rename the episode.
I think I
so
missed the
what-
beginning, so I will have to re-upload it. But I will name it. What was the name we decided on?
Brown Eyed Girl.
Brown Eye Girl. There we go.
So have we completed the whole tower and get all the XP for it?
You have, but there's still some things left undone. Like maybe
Yeah, we
what to
still
do with the body. We'll get to the
Bury it or
XP.
burn it.
We'll get to the XP, but there's many. I mean, You could throw it into the ocean. You could reanimate the body. You could burn it on a pyre. You could bury it in the ground. Where are you going to bury it? Who knows? These are all questions you're going to have to answer next time. But at least you
Dragon Ball
have
Z.
some time to think about it. So
I think it's only proper that we just burn and destroy the whole tower.
you could do that.
Can we just talk about Dragon Ball Z for a second?
Well,
Sorry.
before you start talking about
Just-
Dragon Ball Z, just everyone go ahead and
That's
say
copyright.
goodbye to the stream.
Goodbye to the stream.